Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajme. As I said, I'm not important, I'm just a question asker. That's all I am, the question asker. But we have my brother from another mother, but we got the same father here with his Badger. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Man, look here, you got to
Hold
give me a little more energy, man. I came at you with all the energy, man. You got to give me some more energy.
on.
Back.
Hey, I'm waiting for the coffee to kick in.
Hey, look here. Hey, ain't got nothing to do with them kickers, but I need some more energy. Badger, how you doing this morning?
It's another beautiful and blessed day, man.
Badger, what do you think about this whole situation that's going on, man? They got everybody's throwing mud and slinging all kind of stuff at each other in this political thing. The midterms is coming up, and there's a lot of mud being slung. Badger, what do you think about this, man? Why can't everybody just stick to the issues, deal with the issues? Now stop throwing all this mud and slinging about this person did this person did that, this person didn't do this person voted against it. Let's deal with the issues at hand. Badger, why can't we get to that point?
I don't know if even I don't think most people are ready for that answer.
Mm-hmm.
I
Give it to
really
him
don't.
anyway.
Huh?
Give it to him anyway. What's the answer?
Too simple, it'd go right over their head.
Mm. You don't
It
know, do you,
really
Badger?
is. Huh?
You don't know, do you, Badger?
Oh, I do.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
Be it's called be responsible for yourself and to others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not greed, not selfishness, not ego.
Now you know we talking about the race for a political office and
Oh,
seats.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also talking to all the voters,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that choose to be ignorant.
Mm-hmm. So that you don't think they take the time to figure out what's going on and figure out what's really going on. That might
Oh,
be that might some
no.
of the voters might take that as an insult, Badger. Some of the people might take that's listening might take that as an insult. Say, who this dude to tell us what we know and what we don't know? You know,
Because every one of them that tried to challenge me when I presented them with facts, all of a sudden had to go real quiet because I know where to actually find truth.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So explain to us, Badger, what is the truth?
There's a website called Congress.gov.
Mm-hmm,
There's a website called National Archives. I'm not talking about CNN and Fox News.
mm-hmm.
I'm talking about
Do you
you
think
know
do you
the
think that
website that
you
has
think
the
they're biased?
actual bills.
Do you think CNN and Fox News is biased one side or another?
If you don't think that, you're stupid.
Mm. Now we ain't gonna say stupid now, Badger. You know we don't do that.
Yeah, I will.
No, you won't. No, you will not. No, we don't do that on here. Don't nobody have the liberty to call
How
anybody
about
stupid.
ignorant?
That we don't do that. No, we had a discussion about ignorant, about people calling somebody ignorant. We had a big discussion on that one.
Ignorance.
No, well, yeah, ignorance.
I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm sorry.
Well, my thing is, like I
Eh,
say, Baz, you know where you at. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't call each other outside of who they are. You know, they may not understand. They might have a lack of knowledge, but we're not gonna call them stupid or ignorant or stuff like that. We're not gonna do that.
How about sheeple?
You do that all the time, Badger.
I mean, what other word is properly fitting?
Hmm.
We talk about word usage all the
Un,
time, right?
they unknowingly, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Say
Unknowingly.
they unknowingly do certain things or vote a certain way. They unknowingly.
Well, it's like the unknowing that follow people like Trump.
Yeah, they
All they
unknowingly.
see is a businessman that's
Hmm.
supposedly, quotation mark, supposed to be bringing money in.
Hmm.
And it's a crock. Biden ain't doing a good job either. There's some things he's doing that's worked, and there's some things that Trump did that worked. And but the over 4 years, they're
Hmm.
about equal as far as how much they suck.
Hmm. I wish my grandmother could have ran for office. She would have done a great job.
Man, the day they let an actual real grandmother into that office is the day when the people in power have died.
Mm. You don't think that ever happened, huh?
Well, not as long as the unknowing stay unknowing. Your
Yeah, I,
word
I think I think
usage.
I I think we done gave you another piece of verbiage. Not that you didn't already know it, but I think we gave you another piece of verbiage when you said the unknowingly. And
Well, that's
I think it's very appropriate though.
well. I mean, okay. So we have the unknowing of or the ones that don't acknowledge that systematic racism still exists. We have
Hmm.
the unknowing that thinks that a businessman is what America needs. We have another set that thinks this, and this. And here's the crazy part. Out of all those people that I've had conversations with, you go on you go on Congress.gov and you pull up bills,
Hmm.
and the ones that are about that actually have backup plans where you can actually go to the National Archives and pull up how much money is set to do what. Wait, that's public access?
Hmm.
Wow.
It is. It is. But
Oh, and it's public access to find out who's supporting what politicians.
I got this app on my phone that actually
Ugh.
any company that you come up with, any company, pretty much any company that you name. I ain't gonna say it's all of them, but any major company that you name, it tells who they support, what party, what political party they support.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan, let me see. I pulled him up. Let me see. JP, see what I just scrolled to it. But this app here, man, is crazy because it actually goes through and tells you who let me see, let me go here. Who's with who, how they vote, and let me see. I'm trying to get to it here. Y'all keep talking, Badger. What I
Uh,
venture and find what we got here.
that's that that bank company.
They say JP Morgan is pretty much they got them 50-50. They got them well, they got 55% Democrat, 45% Democrat. I mean 55% Democrat, 45% Republican.
There ain't no way.
That's what it says.
Wow. That's a couple of pharmaceuticals I'd like to. You're gonna have to send me the name of that app. I
Yeah.
could have some fun with that.
Oh yeah, I get it to you, but yeah, in any pretty much any company that you come up with, and it tells you, you
Well,
know,
hold on.
yeah.
Who made that app?
Now Badger, do you think I really know who made the app, Badger?
Well, no. You just made me. J.P. Morgan primarily backing Democrats is kind of weird.
Hmm. Well, it is well, yeah, it did say primarily because 55% Democrat, 45%
Like
Republican. Yeah.
that's sus. I mean, this is J.P. Morgan, the one that likes to buy up other companies and.
Hmm. Well, the way they listed it, well, I guess it's the way that a merger that they have. It's saying JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase is how it's categorized right now on this particular app. JP Morgan Chase. And so
I don't know. I have to dig into that now.
hmm
That's another day.
see, gave you some more homework. Give me another company.
I got too many.
Throw another company at me and see
um.
what it says.
Oh. Shell. No, wait. No, 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 no. Who just bought out Shell and Chevron?
While you think about that, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna seek and I pull,
My.
pull up Shell, see what Shell is saying to me.
Yeah, I forgot. I think someone bought out Shell. It might be Chevron. I
Oh,
can't keep
is that
track of them buying back and forth.
Shell Oil is saying that it's a flip flop. Shell Oil have the
Yeah.
okay. It says Shell Oil is 46% Democratic and 54% Republican.
Yeah, but which bills did the company support?
Magic again. See, now you ask me another question that this app is not telling me.
Oh, you're not gonna find that's the meeting behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I ride the line of conspiracy theorist.
You do.
Like, and people are like, "Oh, you're so negative," and I'm like, but I can get on National Archives and prove everything I say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Now, and some people would ask the question. And I'm asking the question: how accurate is that particular platform? How accurate is it? How do we know that it's not like a Wikipedia?
dude, you don't want to ask me that.
Yes, I do.
It's man writes things.
Mm-hmm.
Men alter things when they write.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, and with that fact being established, how do we know that the site that you're looking up, the site that you're looking at, that man
Okay,
does write in? How do we know we don't have a biased person
Raheem,
giving their opinion?
this is a fine line. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to stay away from this topic.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You scared? You scared? Say you scared. I got a rock water,
Oh
man.
no, I'm not scared. I'm talking. I'm just there are going to be people listening that might turn it to a different way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. Um, I'm gonna let you off the hook, boy. It's only man here. Boy, I was about to go in. We was about to go in. It's only you and I here, so we was gonna have this conversation.
Oh, I'm down. I'm just it's going to get rough.
Mm-hmm. I look. I'm the kind of guy. I never ran from rough, but that's just. As a matter of fact, I kind of like it. It kind of. I'm like one of them old I say wrestlers, but like my uncle used to say, I'm more like one of them one of them rough wrestlers. He don't say wrestling. He say wrestlers. On the way on the on the way he get that conversation from. But let me see. We got somebody on the phone. Let me see who we got here. We got another heavy hitter. We got another heavy hitter, Mr. Hicks. Good morning, Mr. Hicks. How you doing this morning?
Good morning,
Boy,
Raheem.
y'all
I
fellas and
ain't
stuff.
no heavy heaters hitting up.
Another heavy hitter online. We got another
Good
heavy
morning.
hitter. Boy, we got Mr. Hicks and Mr. Badger.
Oh,
Huh? Look here. Hicks, I want to ask
oh
you this.
man.
I want to ask you this question, man. Why is it we talking about this the voting season? The midterm, the
Mm-hmm.
voting season, and all the different things, of voting all these people in. I'm asking the question, Mr. Hicks, why in the world does it have to be so much smear tactics? This person is talking bad about this, but why can't they? And it's been this way forever, but why can't they just stick to the topics? This is what it is. This is what I want to do. This is what the person here actually has not done. And I'm not going to talk about they mama, sister, cousin, or who they did or who they did. I'm not going to talk about all this stuff or what they. I don't want to talk about all this stuff. I personally don't want to hear all that stuff. Let me know the facts. Give me the facts. Tell me what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Why can't they do that, Mr. Hicks?
Wow, that's too practical. That's too much like right.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a saying that's all fair in love and war.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
politics is war without the violence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a war, and that's why I guess it points to our character. Even when you're throwing mud at each other, right? It's interesting to watch and see how people handle that. When they're shaking, it sort of when a person get upset, they sort of reveal themselves to be embarrassed lately.
Mm-hmm.
Emotion, energy, and motion. Emotion just consumes, and it's a task in life to learn how to control your emotions and regulate them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they get up there, somebody say something that triggers that emotion of defense and
Mm-hmm.
fighting back.
Wow.
But
What
yeah,
but and my question, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But my question is, what does that have to do with the issues?
nothing. Barely, very little really mad about the issues.
Mm-hmm.
It's a culture. We're into a political realm now where it's a culture war. It's not about issues. It's about who's going to influence the culture, the future for the children. What are the laws and things we're gonna do right now that's gonna change the future? You know, when me, you, our generation are in the earth, these other kids coming up, these children, the world coming up behind us, it's coming up blank. They're coming up with the new rules. They won't even remember us.
Wow. And let me tell everybody, because I know a few people are going to be wondering this morning. We're actually operating this morning at about 60%. We're not at 100% this morning. We had some issues with our system, and yeah, we had some issues with our system, and so because of the fact that we didn't even do our real men being men last night, you know, it was some issues going on, and I'm hoping that everything works well.
Yeah, no, I missed it.
Yeah, I'm going to the Apple store this morning. As soon as we get finished, I'm heading out here, going to the Apple store and trying to get this little situation that we got rectified, so we don't have this problem anymore. But we're actually
Apple, that's the problem.
I love Apple, man. But yeah, we're gonna go over there, and we're gonna hopefully get the problem rectified this morning. So moving forward, we don't have any more issues, man. Like I said, I hope we're able to make it through this broadcast this morning. I hopefully we will be able to, but we only operating at about 60%. I see I might even be being generous when I say 60%, but we have to keep it some kind of way. We got to figure out a way to keep it going, and that's what we're attempting to do right now. So all our listeners out there that's watching and listening, please bear with us. This is a rough little day, but we're gonna fight. We're not gonna stop. We're not gonna quit. We're not gonna give up. Mr. Hicks, what is a fighter? Let's talk about fighting for a second. What is a fighter? We're not talking about a boxer, a fighter of life. What does it mean to be a fighter?
Fighter.
That's a good one, ain't it? That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's not a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, you really did. That's a good one. Real good one. A fighter is operating out of your physicality, whether it's mental or spiritual. Fighter is some kind of way that you're going to exert your power, your will over the situation, and you're going to fight to get it, which is the world's way. You know, that's the way you get stuff in the world. It's about having power, about fighting and winning. But in the spiritual realm, fighting is a whole different thing. Fighting is through prayer. Fighting is through fasting. But fighting is through doing good deeds and doing good works. And it's almost like when you fight against something, it's fighting back.
yeah, exactly. Mr. Hicks, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing you said that, because we had this saying back when we was growing up, back in our neighborhood. We used to have this saying, say, boy, I'm gonna tell you something. You want to fight, it's okay. But if you hit me, if you can't fight, you're gonna be in a world of trouble, because I'm gonna beat the brakes off of you. If you hit me and you can't fight, you're gonna be in trouble. Boy, that's that. But go ahead, Mr. Hicks.
Yeah, but that's fighting. You really pull some stuff out, don't you, bro? What do you be thinking about? What you be reading?
Exactly. Come on now.
You got me stunned. You know, I never liked to fight. You know, I was a agreeable kind of personality as a child, and I was timid in a lot of sense because I didn't like to fight, and I was pushed around a lot. But I was pushed around. I didn't fight the people in the street, but I fought my family. I fought my siblings, right?
Yeah. It happens a lot.
But it was a thing of, and I think I never wanted to fight. Never really liked fighting, because I knew something was inside of me. I don't know what it was exactly. You know, we're so traumatized, and now, you know, when it says he came to set the captives free, it's sort of implying that everyone born into the earth is born captive.
Yeah.
And they're in bondage. They're in bondage to traditions. They're in bondage to the generational DNA curse that's passed down through them. You come with a certain fire inside of you, or either not. And I had this fire inside me, and I knew it came from my father, watching my father fight my mother.
Wow.
And being young and not clear about what was going on, but I was always angry. and I
Mm-hmm.
was afraid to fight it. And when I fought all my life, when I fought, it was always bad for me. I
Mm-hmm.
always hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I would always be the one. Now I'm not saying that braggadocious.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just that I was pushed. I was pushed to fight,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt that if you push to fight and you defend yourself, you do everything you can to avoid the fight. And when you fight, you have a force of power behind you that's stronger than the tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
don't like fighting. I don't like conflict. I don't like aggressive conversation. And someone tried to trip it to PTSD. It's not that. Well, maybe it is because it's easy. I don't know when what someone's doing outside that's sort of considered normal by the population or saying outside that I trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, when something triggers, it's like again that emotion. You're not in control. It consumes you, and it does you damage
Mm-hmm.
always.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Badger, what do you say to that, Badger? What is a fighter? And we're not talking about a boxer. We're talking about a fighter in life, a person that have to fight against situations and circumstances. What is a fighter?
Hmm. That's tough. Um, I think everyone has a fighter in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the scariest ones are a woman that's in mother bear mode, or a
Mm-hmm.
grandmother that's in protect the family mode. Those can be quite terrifying, or at least in my perspective. But fighting happens with body language. It happens with words, not just fist.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can win a fight just by a look.
Mm-hmm. You talking about
Um,
you talking about the screw attack. You talking about you trying to screw somebody, Badger. You talking about you trying to screw somebody.
I mean, you've seen me on cam. I'm a big boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's gotten me out of a lot of fights.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it's people fight for their beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
for their ideologies.
How much of a fight do they put into it for their beliefs and their ideologies?
Sometimes I feel it should be weighed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by what?
I think some people fight when they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times when I'm asked about my belief and stuff like that, and I just pass it. I just leave it be. I lay it down.
Mm-hmm.
And some people can view it as being weak. I just laugh because like I'm not. I don't see a point in pushing my belief onto somebody else.
Yeah.
Um, which is why I avoid answering certain questions because I know exactly what's going to happen around certain people.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things I say on here all the time. Whether I agree or disagree, or I don't even say one way or another whether I agree or disagree. I just simply say, that's your opinion. I can't give you your opinion. And this not talking about you. I'm talking about when I talk to anybody. I say I can't give you your opinion. You have your own. I ask you what's on your heart, and I expect for you to tell me what's on your heart. And whether I agree or don't, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter whether I agree, I disagree, or whatever, or how I feel about it. It doesn't matter. That's your opinion. You have
My
your own.
fight,
Yeah. Go ahead.
my fight primarily is centered around what's good for community and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's kind of funny how we transferred over to this from the political stuff, like the political fight that's going on right now. Most of the time, there's three topics that are usually brought up. Well, four. Let's go with four. Guns, LGBTQTI, all that letters. They keep adding letters, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Race and products, inflations. Well, I'd say healthcare. which also encompasses the abortions.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, it's abortions, race, gay, the LBG community, LBGT. I can't remember all the words. I apologize for anyone listening. All the letters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and guns.
Mm.
And that has those four things have been used so much in the last, oh man, most of America,
Mm-hmm.
like time. And it's a separation tactic. It also involves religious belief. It involves personal beliefs. It encompasses a lot of things. So the politicians learn what kind of mentalities are in certain areas, and when they're in those areas, that's what they touch on to get
Mm-hmm.
people to support them. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what they personally stand for. All they care about's the votes.
And you think that's the most important thing?
To most of them, yeah, the votes are.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree with that.
Um, and that's something that we need to be fighting.
Mm-hmm.
However, more people are worried about one topic and not all of them.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That's good.
So it's who. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. We'll talk. We hadn't got to our topic of the day. We actually bounced around a little bit. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So this is way out Wednesday. This is way out Wednesday. So I'm asking Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, how inclusive as a group, as a society, individuals, people, if you will, human beings, how inclusive are we in regards to everybody? Are we inclusive, or do we get our little pockets of people that we want to deal with and not be inclusive for everybody? How inclusive are we?
I don't. What's that word mean?
Do we include everybody in everybody in or do we have our cliques? Do we include everybody in everything that's going on, or do we divide uh this person from that person, this group from that group, and do it in that way? It simply means do we include? Inclusive mean include. Go ahead, Mr. Hicks.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere in just in all areas is something's happening because we seek people that agree with us,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't want to hear. That's the whole issue of free speech on campuses and all through society with the
Mm-hmm.
cancel culture and thought and what my man Kanye is speaking about. It's the thought control, rethink, and this
Mm-hmm.
is stuff was written in books 1984 by those writers that was predicting these things. A new thing, changing words, and so you sort of similar people that use your same language. You're familiar with it, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
about theology or politics.
Mm-hmm.
We operate in a tunnel. I think it's important to hear the other side.
Yeah.
It's important to hear the other person's point of view, which is what you do on your broadcast every
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to be able to stand and say, hey, well, I see what you're saying, but this is what I see it, which is a healthy conversation.
Yeah.
And I think I've grown so many times from different conversations out of there where people starting out feeling firm in my position. But as I listen to them and listen to the spirit inside of me, looking beyond their words, not trying to find a way to tear them down or prove my point, but being open to a new thought,
Mm-hmm.
a new way of looking at things. And that comes from communication. It comes from talking to people that don't think like you,
Yeah. Yeah.
don't believe like you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. That's good. Badger, what do you say to that? Are we inclusive, or do we divide each other by race, creed, color, age, or likes or dislikes? Do we do that?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
we do that quite a bit. Um, Man, I can give many examples if you want.
Go ahead.
All right, so me and you had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
about some of my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw one out there, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of what's called a two-spirit,
Okay.
which essentially is like a feminine spirit born in a masculine body,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that will literally exclude me, call me of the devil or whatever you want to call me because of my belief.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't talk about it because I know a majority of people aren't for something like that based on their belief.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to say that will cause me to not be a part of the conversation or group.
That give me some clarity. You say a feminine spirit born into a masculine body. So you're saying a female spirit born into a man's body.
Yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
it's a weird concept. I'm not going any farther than that with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, how you gonna put something on the table, then gonna put bricks on what you say about it? Mr.
Because
Hicks, you heard
I'm not getting into a biblical verse war.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Hicks, you hear that?
I did. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Bass.
warrior. We come from a warrior clan.
Exactly.
We're not afraid. We're sovereign.
Mm-hmm.
Native American.
Oh, it's not an afraid thing. It's an understanding that sometimes you just have to meet people where they choose to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Some people will say what you're speaking about, and this could very well be totally off. It could be totally off. But I like to deal with both sides and what I think my audience may be thinking at that
Go
particular
for it.
time. Some people will say you're talking about a homosexual type attitude or atmosphere. Because when you say when people
Yeah.
say when people say I figure that's what when people say a feminine spirit born into a man's body, that travels down the road of homosexuality.
Now, not all
Not
would
all. No,
turn.
no, no, no. Certainly.
Not all of them would be
No.
like that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just, and that's the other thing. Like learning that even as a male, it's okay to get in touch with your feminine energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just some has more than others. I mean, like there's women that have more of a masculine energy that make excellent warriors and hunters.
Mm.
Why should we disrupt that? Is
I'm
it
not.
all of them?
I'm not
Eh,
gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that we should or even have the power to disrupt that because the way I see it, a person gonna be who they are. That's just what it is. And if that individual allow outside influences to change who they are, then there's a weakness in them. If they can let
well, okay. See,
influence or dictate who they are.
this is where you get into like some rough areas because I know I brought up at one point there was a preacher here in Texas
Mm-hmm.
that was literally trying to get Austin, Texas, the folks, at the Capitol, to pass a law saying that it's acceptable to line up all the gay people in Texas up against the wall and do a firing line.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Is that okay?
In any sane person would know that that's not okay.
So, like, I mean, that's borderline what was done to a lot of other to some races.
Mm-hmm.
No, not borderline. That is what they done to some races.
Mm-hmm.
The blacks,
The way I see it, and I'm gonna go to Mr. Hicks as well. But the way I see it is, man don't have the ability to give life, so he shouldn't have the ability to take life. And that goes to that, if man don't have the ability to give life, man don't have the ability to take life. How could he take something that he
that's
cannot give?
well. Now you're getting into ego.
I don't think that the way I put it out there has nothing to do with
Okay,
ego.
hold on.
Has
My
nothing to do with
definition of
me.
ego, I think, is different.
Okay, that could be the
My
case.
definition of ego is you've eased God out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's your breakdown of what the words and ego mean. It's not necessarily the definition of ego, but I know what you mean though.
Mine.
But my thing is this right here, and let me go to Mr. Hicks, pull him into the conversation where I don't want him listening to
I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
I don't want him sitting there listening to the Raheem and Badger. I don't want to do that
Well,
to
pull
him.
him in. Let's go.
No, it's good. I enjoy it. I'm enjoying
There,
it.
see, Mr. Hicks, see, there you go. But what do you what do you say about that, Mr. Hicks? If an individual allow someone else to dictate to them who they are, is that a weakness in that person?
Well, I don't really know. I think it's sort of like this here. The whole form of free speech is allow someone to utter their thoughts that are deep inside of them, and they might be wrong, and they might be right. And I think that in the forum, for instance, if I've had conversation in the beginning, starting, and I would say things in a way that the way I said them was sort of the reflexive action would be what came. Someone taking offense. I think that and what that does to me when I said that way and it caused someone to fit. One time they said, I thought I would get off the line. Somebody had been on the line a long time. And I thought about it and made the adjustment inside of myself. It's like a thing in I think it was Paul was talking about feeding people baby food and then meat. There's rooms, different degrees of knowledge and wisdom, all the things positive all of us at different degrees. None of us are complete. We need each other for completion. But because we're separated because we don't want anyone to change us and influence. I'll give you a real example.
Okay.
The situation I was talking about a couple of months ago with the person that needs some help here, right? I knew some of the story, and I couldn't help. Well, I didn't know I was doing it when I was doing it, but I was really judging. I was judging Harley and reluctant to help. It was my son, his heart and his bleeding for someone else reminded me of my mother. That was something that parent passed down. That was my mother's, her whole evangelistic kind of approach. We always had somebody staying in our house. We sat down at the dinner table. We always had a couple other people who helped the kids from the neighborhood who didn't have, it was just a regular. And even then, when I was a child, I was resentful of that. I was saying, why are you giving out food? Because I'm the oldest, and I know that we got to pay rent. We're in a tight spot. Mama just told me I couldn't get these shoes I need. But I think that when you allow your spirit to be tempered by, it's sort of like loving your neighbor. It's sort of like doing to others what you want to do to you. Same kind of principle. You just got to give what you want to give, and it's hard to get that because it don't seem like that works. It don't seem like that's logical. But my mother, her personality and that loving spirit. When I got arrested back there when I was in my foolishness, it rattled the whole criminal justice system there in Newark where I was, because here I was a guy when I got caught. When I got caught, immediately after getting caught, there's a lawyer there. A lawyer came down, not a public defender, someone that my mother had wanted to respect and help for. She always had those things going along. But that one thing in my whole process that forced them to play by the rules right from the beginning, and they were stunned. They were shocked. I mean, I'm sitting back there and beat me up. They're trying to figure out a way to get me out and kill me because they just figured out who they had. In the middle of 3:30 in the morning, I looked, and when they saw someone coming, they was closing the door. I was chained to a radiator, and I put my head around up as the door was closed. My mother looked, and she said, "There he is, right there." She turned, and the lawyer turned, and the whole situation changed. I think that in all the stuff was showing me, I was seeing the fruits of her good works. I was seeing that you got to be flexible. You got to adjust to people around you. And that's not changing who you are in your core. You got to know who you are. the conversation we had last week about do a man need a woman and a woman need a man to be. That's the perfect order. That's how it should be. But until you do that point, you got to become single
Mm-hmm.
inside of you, with your connection with the Creator and how He guides your steps. And that way, you can take those same skills into the marriage. It's going to take that. Marriage is a complicated thing. Just relationships, period, with children, with cousins, with aunts, and it's like your laboratory to refine your spirituality, started at home. But I've been changed. I've
Mm-hmm.
changed. I've seen my change since I've been talking on this line. Because
Wow.
you got to figure, I ain't talked to people in years.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's good. I'm glad that you're here, brother, because you bring so much to the conversation, man. As do Badger, y'all bring so much to the conversation. So I'm definitely glad that both of you are here. As it with everybody, man. Everybody have their own element that they bring to the conversation, man, and it makes each other think. And I hope that it builds not only us but everybody that's listening. And so,
Yes, sir.
it's a great family, man. It's a great family, and we are family. We are definitely family. Ain't we family, Badger?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's some views that we don't always agree on,
Yes, yes.
especially when it
That's a
comes
family.
to exactly.
That's a family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Brothers and sisters grow in the same house. One thinks one way, the other one thinks the other way. We're different.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
similar. We're similar in all the human aspects, but we're different in how we're perceiving this thing. But we're family.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
fall out with family. So I ain't calling them tomorrow. I ain't talking to you tomorrow.
Well, it's like
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Badger.
well, it's like the whole thing, talking about what you were talking about, including it or not including folks. There are some people that are called traditionalist in
Mm-hmm.
Native communities, and then vice versa, the non-traditionalists. That it's sometimes it's learning who is part of your tribe and who are your acquaintances, and then who are you just learn agree to disagree and leave it
Mm-hmm.
at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I had a there's been many times I've actually wanted to talk with you and go see if Donald Trump would be willing to come on the radio show and let us ask him questions
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
a civil manner and see
Does,
how that goes.
does he know how to be civil?
We'll find out.
Wow.
So it's just, but that's the thing. Like, to include others, you have to be open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, even if it's not your personal views,
Mm-hmm.
I find it hard to believe personally that you can't learn something from somebody else, even if it's a little bit. It
Mm-hmm.
could be how not to live. It could be many different things depending on how open you are to listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes the bad person that's standing in front of you, who's not to say that they were sent to teach you something?
Yeah. I
It,
see it.
it's Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
So it's just, and I made the comment a while back of, my Bible is the universe. Because to me, the lessons are all in front of us. I don't need to go to, a book to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. The kingdom is at hand. Like, it's right here in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how open are we to listen?
That's good. That's good. And the way I see it, and I've said this many times, even on here. Anybody could teach you something. Anybody could teach you something. You can see a wino laying in the gutter, man. Probably done all kind of things on themselves. I'm trying. I wanted to be. I didn't want to be too graphic the way that I said it, but he's done certain things on themselves that you're not supposed to do to yourself because he's so um, intoxicated or outside of himself. But if you're walking by this fella, he's in the gutter. not looking good, not smelling good, not in a good way. And if you're walking by, you got your little suit on, you dressed to the nines, you're going to your meeting or date or wherever you're going to, and you're walking down that way because it's a faster route for you to get where you're going. And he reach over and he grabbed onto your trousers, your pants, if you will. And you look down, you're like, oh, and he said, listen, he said, young man, please, 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 don't ever drink. Don't ever drink. Now that's the very thing, or he said drinks or do drugs. Now that's the very thing that have him in that situation, the predicament that he's in. But he's telling you not to do that. Mr. Hicks, did he just teach you something? Did he just, quote unquote, did he just minister to you?
Oh, he did. I think as I developed my spirituality and I asked the creator, I asked God for things, right? I would start listening in my day to what conversations that I happen to turn on the television, when I open up a page of the Bible, what page it open up to, or when I
Mhm.
talk to someone, I'm listening for. It's my belief. It's my belief that God talks to people through people.
Yes.
Uh, I and I think that the problem with the written word is that people stop at the word, and the word is just a road sign to a non-physical spiritual reality behind it, and
Mhm.
don't go deep enough. And I
Mhm.
think that's the personal study kind of thing, that no matter how many times you go over, how many times I got to answer the door. Somebody go, I come back.
Yeah. Okay. Badger, go ahead. Did that wine or that drug addict that's laying in the gutter, dirty, filthy. People look at him as being nothing. But as you're walking by, Badger, he reach out, he grab you in your trousers, and you look down at him for a second, and he says, "Son, whatever you do, please, please, don't ever drink or do drugs." Did he just speak words of wisdom to you?
Oh yeah, he's I want to use the word Hyoka,
Mm-hmm.
the clown.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing you what happens when you're not able to fight it.
Mm. Mm.
Um, it so like we talked before. Not everyone has the same willpower. Not everyone has the mindset. Um, so it's one of those things of, I mean, who's to say that maybe it's me, if the person's grabbing me, I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe it was just me and him having a conversation and me sharing how I was able to get away from alcohol might be able to help him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, why should I turn my back against that?
Mm-hmm.
And something in him made him say what he said to me. And that's the spirit in all of us. Even the most evil person taught us something. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it's why not to do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, with that being said, I have to agree with you, man. Everybody, regardless of what their situation or where they are in life, has a potentiality to teach you something, and they can teach you something, and you can learn something from them. And like you said, even if it's not to be that mean, cruel, and nasty, even if it's
Exactly.
that, if you walk away from that person saying, "Man, I would never treat nobody like that Joker just treat," or "I saw him treat somebody else," I would never do that. You walked away with something. And but do we always appreciate the gifts that we're shown or that we're taught? Do we always appreciate them, Andrew?
I think a lot of people miss them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it? 2 weeks ago, I brought up a question on Wednesday about, what is the difference between hate from a racist and hate towards gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I see no difference. Hate is hate, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to use that as an example for what we're talking about right now. If people truly learned how hate feels by being racially profiled, then why would a person want to turn around and do it to someone else just because of their choice
Mm-hmm.
to be with the same sex? What logic does that make? You can dislike it,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, there you go. Okay.
yet don't be hateful.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can go, hey, I'm fine with you being like that. I'm fine with hanging out, but I'm not going to marry you
Mm-hmm.
due to my personal belief, but I'm not going to hate you for your decision.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're respectful about it, why would they be upset about it?
What
It's
do you
your
say?
personal choice.
What do you say to the people that says birds of a feather flock together?
In what context?
Well, they say a lot of time people say that. Well, and people really feel this way, man. You know, it's crazy, it's funny. But people really feel this. If you hanging out with somebody, if you best friends or buddy, if you will, with somebody that's gay, a lot of time they say, well, you must got some of that in you too. How you gonna hang out with that fella right there, knowing he this way? How you gonna hang out with him knowing he or she is gay or lesbian or whatever? You must have some of that in you too. Birds of a, and that's where they throw that little thing in there. Birds of a feather flock together. How do you feel about that?
Ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I I don't think people can get much
Did,
straighter
did,
than I am.
did you just use that word again?
It would, yeah.
No,
Unknowing don't fit that. I'm sorry.
it fits.
Not in my view.
You don't want it to fit. It does fit.
Not
You don't want it
not
to fit.
not on my heart. My heart says
Mm-hmm.
ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are truly comfortable in who you are,
Mm-hmm. I'm with you with that.
who you're hanging out with shouldn't be able
Mm-hmm.
to influence you.
Mm-hmm.
If they influence you to do whatever, when it's then
Well, see, my thing is, Badger. A person can. I'm not gay. I tell the world that anybody know me know that I'm not gay, and
so
so
you're
it
not
is.
happy. Understood.
There you go. Um, my thing is this right here. I don't care who's around me, and I've been around gay people before. It ain't gonna make me gay. Yeah, I mean
No.
that's what you do. Hey man, hold on, bro. I ain't got no. Hold on, you ain't. I ain't got don't come at me like that now. You know we could talk, we can hang up, blase. But as far as that part, bro, get away from me with that. I don't get down that way. That's not who I am. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not, I'm gonna treat you with the utmost respect that you deserve, that every human being I think deserves. But as far as me, I don't care. It could be a room with 10 people, and all 10 of them are gay. I'll be on the straight one in there, and I'm not doing what y'all do. I'm not when y'all get into that. What y'all
Okay.
want to do? I holler at y'all later, man. See y'all later. Y'all enjoy yourself. Bye.
Okay. Now I got a question for you.
Hmm.
Would you support a bill saying that they have the right to marry?
I don't know. I don't know. A part the quick reflex answer for me, and this not gonna be very popular at all. I know it's not. It's okay, but it will be no. But I would have to
And
sit down and hold on. Now you asked me a question. Let
go
me
ahead.
answer. Now I would have to sit down. I would have to really sit down and evaluate and look inside of myself to find out whether I could find that. And some people say, well, why can't they marry? That's I have to go back to certain spiritual beliefs that I have and what I have been taught over the years. Now, was I taught properly? Maybe I say yes. Some people say maybe not. But before, go ahead, finish your thought. I got Cassandra. I want to go to her as well. But what's on your heart? Finish up, Badger.
Uh, Okay, so me asking that question,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if they're not out there killing folks and all that kind of stuff, I know there's a lot of misconceptions of some of them are making other people that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have my own opinions of that. Yet, if religion and state's not supposed to be hand in hand, then a religious view shouldn't be used in that way.
Mm.
We can all
You see,
agree. W-
Now you're getting in a position where that's all that a person could look at that as being a judgmental. One of the things that you hate so much, you can't tell a person that. A person gonna feel like I said, like I say all the time. I can't give you your opinion. You have your own, and you very well can't give anybody else their opinion. You have your own. They have theirs. Whether it lines up with what you believe or how you feel, that's a whole different conversation. But you can't tell a person how to deal with that particular instance. They have their own opinion,
Oh
and they.
no, I'm talking about just the laws. Religion
Mm-hmm,
and state's not supposed to be that religion is not supposed to influence the laws.
mm-hmm,
No
mm-hmm.
religion,
Yeah, I agree.
but it does.
It does. Because man is a part of it. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, you heard what we said a minute ago, and the way I say it is, I can hang around. And he was asking a question about gay people, and we got on that topic of discussion. And I said that I can hang around gay people all day long. I'm not going to in what they're doing or their lifestyle like that. It's not going to affect me at all because I know who I am. I'm happy and I'm secure with who I am. Some people don't feel that way. What do you say to that? That
I mean,
let me throw this in there. Some people say, and like I said, the Badger. Some people say, birds of a feather flock together. How do you feel about that?
well, everybody doing a lot of flocking because you are around people. People are around people that are gay every day, have no idea that they're gay. Everybody is not promoting
Yeah.
or showing who they are or even talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And some people that you are around and people are around all the time are homosexual and they have no idea. Because I mean it's private, it's your personal business. If you expose it, you expose it.
Yeah.
But I know, let me tell you, as a kid, I grew up, my grandmother was a part of a organization of women. And there was these two women, they lived together. They beautiful. Them chicks used to be dressed to the nine. I mean, dressed up all the time, cute as buttons. Both of them were professional women. And I mean, I never even thought about it. It never even entered my mind. And then later on, as I got older, one of them died, and my grandmother was like, "Yeah, they've been partners for." I said, "Like partners? Like what you mean partners? They friends. They live together." She said, "No, they loved each other. They loved
Mm-hmm.
each other." And I almost hit the floor because I
Wow.
had no
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, nothing. You never saw them hold hands. You never heard them, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have people around us that are like that. I say it's people's personal business. It's between them and God, whatever. I'm not gay. I'm like you. I can hang around you all day. In fact, in the entertainment industry,
Yep.
you
Yep.
hang around a
Yep.
lot of gay people
All
all
the
the time.
time.
And
Yep.
I
Yep.
love them. I
Mm-hmm.
respect them. And I've never had one come at me or anything. As long as, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. But
Mm-hmm.
that's between them and their God when they stand up in the judgment. That's
Mm-hmm.
their decision.
And like I say, my thing is this right here. If they get into that stuff that they do and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna be so graphic, but if they get into the stuff that they do and they start doing things like that, hey, look at here, I see y'all later, man. Y'all go ahead and do, bye. I'm going about.
Yeah, I'm out. I mean, I'm out.
Yeah.
And let me say this. And Badger made this statement, and it's not biblically sound, not for Christians.
Mm-hmm.
The separation of church and state, that is not biblical.
No.
The Bible says that we should obey those that have the rule over us as far as government, the governing authority. That's biblical. That's that. So that's for us. That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to throw that out there. There is no separation of church and state because we could not obey what the Bible says if we did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Good deal. And I want and Rico, good morning, Rico. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. Just happy to see another beautiful new day, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We're talking about right now we're talking about gay. This is Way Out Wednesday, man. We done had about 8 conversations this morning already, brother. But we're talking about gay, and I asked Badger, Because he said, it doesn't matter with him one way or another. And people should be able to, he asked me how I feel about stuff like that, or should they be able to marry? What is my thought? And I said, my quick reflex answer is no. And I say I know it's not a popular answer, but that's my quick reflex answer. It will be no. And then I said, well, he said he hang out with him. So like I said, I don't have a problem with hanging out. If somebody is a guest like that, I don't have a problem hanging out with them. But if y'all get into all that stuff that gay people do, I see y'all later, man. I ain't, bye. I'm not, I'm not gonna judge you or whatever, but I got to go. But how do you feel about that, Rico? Because some people say birds of a feather flock together. I don't necessarily agree with that.
But let some of them tell it.
Mm-hmm.
That it's true.
Yeah.
Let some of them tell it.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that transsexual guy did, Dr. Umar Johnson, on that show on Fox. After he went and started doing he or she went and started doing interviews, they started throwing insinuations that Dr. Umar has a deep desire, a secret desire for one of them.
Good Lord.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, see, everybody knows some. I respect them as human beings.
Yeah.
But that behavior is I don't accept it. I don't denounce them. I don't condemn them. I don't disrespect them. I get them. I treat them the same way I would want to be treated, as long as they respect me.
Yeah.
And they know where I stand.
Exactly. Exactly.
But as far as me having all type of time to give energy to their issues, and I don't have a problem with them. I just don't accept their behavior. I don't know. I feel like for that to keep on always being brought up on in a topic in our group anyway is another agenda. We see it happening a lot now. I can understand that they do have problems, but I'm sort of jealous of them jokers. They got it better than we got it now. They got rights. They got bills that address them. So why is it that we still got to make a point to make sure that we acknowledge what's going on with them when we got so many issues going on in our own communities? I mean, don't get me wrong. They do still have issues going on. Yeah. No doubt about that. But if I don't have a problem with them and I'm not trying to fight for their best interest, then I just don't find a need to be discussing them every day and trying to associate their struggles with what we're going through. I mean, don't get me wrong, hate is hate. I heard that earlier. Hate is hate. But if they didn't tell people they were gay and they didn't show it or act a certain way, they wouldn't have a problem. But guess what would happen if I just walk down the street or if I just drive down the road at a certain time of night? You can't deny, and you can't deny, you can't hide who you are. The police pull up on you. That's a black man. Exactly. That's So don't get me wrong. I understand what their issues are, but I'm not from that community. I feel like if one of them want to come on here, they ought to be the one that's always bringing it up.
Pretty much speak for themselves.
Thank
you. Speak for themselves. Good deal. Let me go to Tucson. Tucson, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I finally got an opportunity to join back in with you all.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's good to have you, brother. Good, definitely good to have you, man. Always good to have you on with us, man. What do you think about this situation, man? Birds of a feather flock together. Now, if you had a friend, you knew he was gay, and y'all hung out. Y'all been friends for a long time. Y'all hung out, and some other gay friends came around, and before you know it, there's 5 or 6 of them around, and just you. Would you feel uncomfortable? Tucson, I ain't never seen you lost 4 words, brother. It's
just so much that you put out there, man, because first of all, you become your environment. Let me say it like that.
Wow.
Or it's most of the time you're perceived to be part of the company that you keep.
They say birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah. I don't hang with bank robbers. I don't hang with gangbangers. Nothing wrong with that. If
Mhm.
you want to be what they call gangbangers, that's up to you. If you want to rob banks for a living, that's good. That's knock yourself out.
Mhm.
I don't hang, and I'm going the broad way around, and I only got 3 minutes, but I love people.
Mhm.
There are some people that I love that I don't hang with.
Mhm.
There's some my family members
Yes.
that I
Yes.
don't hang with them because of the company they keep.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm saying that because I don't discriminate against homosexuality, lesbian, gayism, however you want to call it, but I don't hang with them
Mhm.
because I am not.
Yeah.
I love me some women,
Mhm.
a woman,
Yes, sir.
a woman.
Yes, sir.
Clarify that.
You better clean it up. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love my wife.
Mhm.
I don't love nobody else's wife. I don't
Mhm.
hang with. You never will say we gonna be swingers.
Mhm.
I don't hang with swingers.
Yeah.
I won't trade women with you.
Mhm.
No,
No.
because the birds of a feather flock together. That's
Mhm.
why they do that. I don't kiss men
No.
in
What?
the mouth,
No,
or
sir.
on the hand,
Mm-mm.
or on the cheek.
Mm-mm.
I'm not
Mm-mm.
French. Oui. No, sir.
Give
We're
him
not
give.
oui.
How you say? Give
It's
him a
not
dap, and that's it.
oui.
Give him a dap, and that's, hey, brother, what's up? Dap, and go on about your
Yeah.
business.
Can you imagine walking up and
No,
agreeing as a pinch on the butt?
Lord Jesus.
Don't walk behind me and hug me. You gonna have some
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Better not.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
That don't feel right to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you ain't got no business behind me.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not booting over. I'm not being ugly. I'm serious. I'm not really being ugly. I'm just not really being ugly. But if that's your thing,
Mhm.
that's your thing.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, and I know I'm out of time by now, but I got some people that I know that is whatever, however you want to call it, homosexuality, gay, whatever you want to call it. But I don't hang with them.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you, but just in case your friends come by, I don't want to be in that crowd because I don't hang around with whores. I'm not calling you a whore,
Mm-hmm.
but if there was a gang of whores or pimps, you won't find me among them.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say it like that?
Exactly.
No, sirree.
Hold on,
We're
Tucson.
not going out and run with the women.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir. I'm not doing that one.
Exactly. Let me go to Cassandra.
Why you got a chance?
Let me go to Cassandra, Tucson. You on the roll right now, brother. You on the roll. Go ahead, Cassandra.
Yeah. I just want to say really quickly. Okay. So we wouldn't want to hang around with Jesus. I mean, basically that's what we're saying, because he hung around with the worst of the worst, and they used to talk about him like, why is he around her? Don't he know who she is? Why is he doing that with her? Why is he with the publicans? Why is he with boom, 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 boom? So we're saying basically, because those are the people he hung around, because he said that the well don't need a physician. It's the sick that needs a physician. So he hung around with all kinds of people and got blasted for it, was put on blast. So, I mean, I get it. We this is just who we are and where we are as a society. But I can hang out with anybody because I can talk to anybody. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there because we would not hang out with Jesus. Most of us are saying we would not hang out with Jesus because he hung out around all of those kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
He was not participating in what they did or whatever, but he was around them. So, and I feel like just because I hang around prostitutes, strippers, drug addicts, and I'm not a drug addict, I'm not a prostitute, and I'm not a stripper, but I'm around them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but
Can I
see,
say something?
not
Can
yeah
I say
yeah.
something?
Give
I
me
know
give
I
me.
lost my time.
Okay, give me just 1 second, Susanna. I'll come right
No,
back. Give me
you
just
don't
one
have to.
second. Hold on. I'll come back to you. Give me 1 second. But my thing is this right here. We have to see. So in so many different ways, I could go with that. Cassandra, not everybody, not everybody have the strength that you have. Because you could, like I say, if somebody gay, I don't have a problem with them. I don't have a problem with them. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but at the same time, I'm not, I'm like the question was asking me, am I going to endorse it? Would I sign off on it? Nah. I just and maybe it's the way I was taught, the spiritual way I was taught, or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I won't sign off on it. I just can't because of that reason. Now, not everybody. We too got to understand. Not everybody is Jesus, and we don't. We don't. We maybe whatever. We not Jesus. And so, yes, Jesus hung out with everybody. He hung out with the whoremongers, the this and that, whatever it was at that particular time. He certainly did. But I can never put myself, or nor would I ever put myself or anybody else in a position of being Jesus. I saw Rico's hand went up. He wanted to say something, and then Two Salt wanted to say something as well. So Rico, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, you
But
pretty
Cassandra,
much
I heard your heart though. I heard your heart, Cassandra. I
yeah,
really do.
you pretty much summed it up. You know, so
Mhm.
I don't think we're saying that we won't associate with or we won't communicate with. But I mean, if I was around a bunch of child molesters that was sitting there saying, "Hey man, we're gonna get together and try to go plan on getting these little girls," or if I knew a homosexual guy and he said, "Hey man, come to this party with me and my friends. What y'all gonna do at the party? Oh, we're gonna have a dildo party."
Mm-mm.
I'm not fixing to spend my recreational time
No.
around them, indulging in and promoting that thing that they love and that they believe in, they value. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I'm not gonna hang around. I don't hang around people that like to shuck and jive and shoot
Mm-hmm.
dice. I can't. I mean, I got cousins that'll sit around and shoot dice every day, and been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back and get together and just get a dice game and shoot the jive and crack jokes and do the most nothing worth thing that you could think of. I cannot be around that, listening to those petty conversations between grown men, the arguments and stuff. So I mean, sooner or later, you have to associate with people, or I'm gonna say hang with people that are doing the things that you believe in and that you like to do.
Yeah.
So when you get to the basic part of people being around what they like to do, that's what you're going to spend most of your time doing, is what you like to do. Then I can understand homosexual people saying, you know what, girl, watch him. He like to come around us too much. Yeah, he might like to come around them too much.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll put it to you this way: I wouldn't know or want to hang around a bunch of white supremacists once I find out that that's what they are. Now I don't mind dealing with white people.
Yeah.
I got white people I hang with, but the minute I find out they got some of those racist views, I ain't supposed to spend my recreational fun time, comfort time with them doing something that I love, because they don't love the same thing I love.
Exactly. That's good. Tucson, you had your hand up, brother.
Yeah. I profess, and I am a minister of the gospel. Okay. I have to associate with any and everybody. I don't care if you're on drugs, don't make me no different. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care if you're a prostitute. I don't care if you're a pimp. I don't care if you're homosexual. I will have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're going in our different directions. Because I don't condone your actions, because I know that there are some things that I do that I don't condone. But Jesus had a message of, just like John the Baptist, repent. You have to make a change. That's why he was there, so that people will see the light. Because they were sick, because they needed healing, not so they can remain the way that they were. So that he would see them as they were, bring them from where they were to where they needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically as far as I'll go say that.
Okay, good deal. Badger had your hand up as well. Badger, what's on your heart?
Yeah.
Miss Hicks, coming to you next.
Well, I was sitting here, listening to everything, and I made a comment in our little private chat of
Mm-hmm.
it's come to circle.
Mm-hmm.
We started the conversation talking about politics and the things that they're fighting about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's included and what's not included. And it's interesting how fast the topic switched or became almost, in a way, one-sided.
Explain to me how it became one-sided.
So, from perception,
Mm-hmm.
folks listening to what some of y'all are saying
Mm-hmm.
gives the impression that y'all would not vote for someone that is willing to pass a bill to say that gay people can marry.
Explain to me what that part of the conversation, because like I said, you heard what you heard. So explain to me where what we said say that we will not vote for somebody that way, or that would.
I said perception.
Okay.
So, like, some of the people's points could be viewed in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take it that way because I know you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I also became curious on what are the top, because is what Rico was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is considered the top political views right now, or like the biggest issues in America right now,
Mm-hmm.
versus as well as what we were talking about, and it's kind of wild.
See, and this part of the conversation right here started out. You actually asked a question. You say, what about a man, a feminine spirit in a man's body? And I say, well, it sounded to me like you're talking about the homosexuality or something like that. And you say, yes, that's what you're talking about, and that's how we got where we are. I don't think anyone would not vote for a person if they were gay or something like that.
Oh, there's a lot that
Now
won't
we
vote for it.
talking we're talking about us right here. We're talking about us right here. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think that there's anybody on here that would say that I'm not going to vote for that person if they're best qualified to do the job. And I'm not going to vote for that person because they're gay. I don't think there's anybody on here that I don't think, if it is, they can speak for themselves. But
So
I would not vote for a person because they lived a certain lifestyle. I would, can they do the job? Are they qualified to do the job? Are they
but I
qualified
also
to lead?
asked,
Are they qualified to lead in a proper way that's going to be best beneficial for everybody involved, and not just a certain group, clique, or element of people? Are they going to be fair and just?
so to me, when we went from the political stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is there are political issues involving this topic,
Mm-hmm.
and to include it, are we inclusive or are we not? Into I shared my belief about two spirits,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also asked a question: would you support a bill that lets them marry?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing my best to keep it in the political inclusive topics that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But by me bringing up two spirits, and I also brought up a couple of other things, this is the one I got stuck on. This is the one that, is being talked about,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I find interesting.
Okay. I mean,
So
go ahead.
there's inflation, there's the abortions, there's the healthcare issue.
That's not what you brought to the table, though. That's not what we was talking about. And see, my thing is right here. You want to say that we're harping on this because this is what we was talking about. Now, had we went in the alley of talking about all the other things, the inflation and all, had we went down that alley of talking about those things, that's what we'll be talking about right now. But that's not. But hold on, Badger. But that's not what we spoke about when you said that about the two spirits. That has nothing to do with inflation and things like that. So we talking on the topic that you brought to the table, brother. it's not like, if you just say something about inflation or something like that, then that's what we'll be talking about. But that's not the question that you brought to the table. So we're talking along the alley and staying in the alley, in the lane that you brought forward.
All right. And then that is my fault for coming across that way. That was the topic I was trying to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my lack of word usage.
Mm-hmm.
So however, this is part of the political fighting that was going on that you brought up at the very beginning,
Okay. Okay.
where this kind of, like, the discussion we're having is used for gun rights, is used for the abortion, is used for all these other things. So
Mm-hmm.
we're literally having a political conversation of what's acceptable and what's not.
Okay,
Is that what's happening this morning?
but it have to be categorized, brother. You can't group them all together in one ball of wax and say we're gonna talk about this and it's gonna include everything that would, all the elements that you said. You have to categorize. If
Okay.
you're gonna talk about the homosexuality, you have to talk about the homosexuality. You're gonna talk about inflation, you got to talk about inflation. You're gonna talk about these rights,
right.
you got to talk about those. You can't lump them all together.
Then let's do this. Let's go race, abortion, and gay marriage.
Wow.
No, let me finish this. I'll speak on this point. Let's not switch it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't switch. I'm next, right?
Yeah.
Let me just respond to this.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. X.
I just want to change. I just want to say this about it. I was hoping we stay on it long enough for me to express this.
Mm-hmm.
When I thought about the whole, I'm 73, so I grew through all those ages and how people dealt with this thing differently. When I was young, they fought them, they beat them up. You came out the closet, and at 2 days, boys are gonna beat your ass. Period.
Hey. Good Lord.
And I'm not saying it's right. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
But then it became another period where the guys that was like that way, you want to beat their ass, they learned how to fight. They was the best fighters. They was knocking.
Man, what's wrong with Mr. X, man?
But it's something about when you say gay. You say gay. I think about the gay pride thing, the men coming down with short pants on and stuff like. It was almost like a flaunting, playing a game, attacking the morals of the country because their freedom to express, and then they classified themselves as like a civil rights movement. And I think that the homosexual is a person that have a different inclination,
mm-hmm.
and usually it's quiet. It's like I think Cassandra was saying, you live your whole life not knowing a thing a certain kind of way because it's private, and there's an element of love that I can't judge on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know this thing about even just going through life. When I was young, I was married, had kids, beautiful wife. I was in power positions, and women were coming at me. It was always a test. It wasn't like I was like, I'm a strong old man, but it was the principle. It was
mm-hmm.
it's the belief that God was watching me.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when my loins were burning, kind of thing, somebody come around, just something about them, and you look at it, and it's the same thing with them. It's like click, click, and then it's okay. No, you get back. I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
God is watching me.
Mm-hmm.
I got straps. So I think it's that way inside of people. But people are people. Some there's homosexuals that sleep with everybody in the world. And I got one in my family, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like a loose girl would do that when you're 15 and 16. They just everybody, anybody. And then there are other people that you don't even know about it. So as far as like association, it's sort of like trying to find that middle path of how's that song my mother used to sing? Just to hit me. When I thought about it when we were talking, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like to shine your light in that kind of thing, understanding that we all are dealing with a struggle on some level or not. It's never complete.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being redeemed is not a one-time process.
Yeah.
Being in the Holy Spirit don't live with nobody. It's something that comes at certain points to give you a strength to go ahead and battle those things inside of you that you still got to battle with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Paul was saying, we're running a race. You know, it's not going real fast or spinning out. It's a long-term race. And he said at the end, I ran, I finished,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the whole goal.
Yeah.
To still stand up with all the temptation you have, to slip, slide, whatever it is, and then having again knowing that you got a way that I don't have to carry this stuff. All you
Mm-hmm.
got to do is repent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jump up the next step. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be better. But but I'm gonna let this light shine. I used to have quotes about gay people. Then I went to prison
Mm-hmm.
and I saw everything in its root case, and I saw that these are hurt souls.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are,
Yeah.
including myself. That's that. I'm a hurt soul too.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel Cassandra's spirit. You know, that was the mission of the nation in those days. What made it so successful. They was getting people that was drug addicts,
Mm-hmm.
prostitutes,
Yeah.
people that was all those kind of stuff, and they were turning their lives around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. And I gotta say, I don't want to jinx.
I
I don't want hold on, Badger. Hold on. I don't want to jinx this whole situation, but I said something earlier. And man, we at the halfway point, man. We have some issues with our system. I have to leave here when I get off and go straight to the Apple store because we have some issues. We couldn't do the real men being men last night because there was some things going on with the system. We hanging on, y'all. We hanging on. We done made it to midway point, so hopefully we're gonna make it through the whole broadcast. I'm hoping we only at about what 60%, I think it is, and not all the platforms we're actually able to broadcast on right now. So y'all bear with us, and everybody that's watching, that's listening, I appreciate you all being there with us. I can't apologize to the ones that can't get on because I can't say nothing to them because we can't reach them right now. But hopefully we'll get that fixed today. Badger, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, because I wanted to get. Hicks said he wanted to comment, so that's why I paused so that way he could
Mm-hmm.
comment with what he was wanting to.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a comment about
Mm-hmm.
politics using the same talking points and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started the show, we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the fighting that's happening in politics,
Yes.
right? And how
Yes.
dirty it can get.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking about the two spirits, I'm like, I know this is going to start something. However,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Okay. But see, what happened was we had the conversation. We had the conversation, and again, like I said, we're family. We're not, and like Mr. Hicks said, we're not gonna always agree. That's just what it is.
Hmm.
But we cannot. But what we can't do is try to intertwine all those things together into and make it into one topic. There are different topics, and we
No,
talk about
okay,
this
hold on.
topic, we talk about that topic, we talk about that topic, and now we're talking about this one. We didn't talk about them
Okay,
collectively. We talked about them individually.
now as far as this topic, I'm outnumbered, right? If we
No,
look at it from a political standpoint.
no, no. You have your opinion just as everybody else have theirs. I don't look at the outnumber thing, but go ahead and make your point, brother.
Okay, so when talking about politics and why we're fighting, why we are
Mm-hmm.
so separated, why are we
Mm-hmm.
still dealing with systematic racism? Why is all this fighting happening? We can use literally the conversation that we just had as an example for those other topics just as well. Because if we bring up those other topics, there are going to be some that are against it, some that are going to be for it, and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And those that have more of a gift of speech usually will be heard over the others.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point that I was truly trying to eventually get to.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't trying to push a narrative of constantly talking about the gay thing. It's one of the easiest things to bring up to make a point of our current situation and our current American culture is separated into factions or cliques or groups or whatever term a person wants to use. There are those of us that fight on racial problems. There are those of us that fight on um, for pro-life or pro-choice, and so on and so on. There is so much division when you start bringing in certain topics that it literally boils down to who outnumbers the other, right?
Mm. Again,
What bills or laws that get passed in America.
30 seconds, Badger. Mm-hmm.
And with all these other, okay, so I looked up what are the top issues that are causing the election or swaying the election. Here's the very number one issue that is on every website that's being voted on: inflation. Second is abortion. Third is healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to all the racial stuff? What
Again,
happened to all the gun stuff?
okay, Badger, got to move on. Got to move on. Hold on. Go ahead, Rico.
What happened is what happened with this conversation. It gets distracted.
Yep.
You know, once upon a time, I came on. I used to come on and I used to be like, you know what, man? It's getting to a point now where we got to stop saying black and brown and all my this and that, because we have been distracted so much from our own group benefits and our progress to the point where we start addressing other issues. See, I'm gonna tell you something. The black community got a totally different priority. We got a different priority because we got a different problem going on in our community, in our schools, in our prisons. We are the ones that are taking the brunt end of this racism thing that you're talking about. And you know the reason why other groups are so far ahead of us? Because they understand group identity politics. Group identity politics. The Jews, the Indians, the Asians, they all the Hispanics, the Latino, they all organize and focus on their priorities, which is their group. Even the LGBT has groups. They have group identity. And they come together, the lesbians, the bisexuals, all of the pansexuals, whatever they want to call themselves, they come together and focus on their priority. You don't see them out there marching in Black Lives. Black Lives, we need to stop Jim Crow. You don't see them doing that. They focus on their issues. Now, as a majority, now when you start talking about being outnumbered, you are only outnumbered as far as color. But when it comes to the issues that we need to address in our community, what happens is what just happened with this conversation. You start bringing in all type of other things that are issues, but not our priorities right now as a group, because we are unorganized. See, the black community, the black group, we don't know what we want to really and truly. We don't know if we want to go along with economics, healthcare, racism. We don't know what we want to address. That's the reason why we so splintered and all over the place. But the Jews, they come together pretty much as one good collective, even if they're Republican or Democrat. When you say something anti-Semitic, look, you can say something that's true.
Ask Kanye.
You can say something true, and then don't get me wrong, he's using double speak.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm what he's doing. He'll tell you something that's pro-black, and then come right back and say something like the knee wasn't on George Floyd's neck.
Exactly.
Say something anti-black. So he just doing whatever he need to do for sensationalism. But the thing is, that's what the devil does when they like to play tricks. That's a whole nother thing. But one truth that he did tell you is pretty much when you start getting up in big money, if you look at any type of language on your contract, attorneys or whatever, you're going to have some Jewish names involved that didn't know you before you got to that point. That means you got to go through a ceiling of people, a group of people that have come together and made sure out of their best interest. Since the Holocaust, these same people that made sure. Now, that man told the truth. It ain't too many contracts you're going to look at that ain't got a Jewish name on it. And they label him anti-Semitic for telling the truth. Is that anti-Semitic for actually looking at your contract and everybody looking at their contract and be like, well, dang, it is a Jewish person on it. You anti-Semitic for recognizing that.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Don't you recognize the truth and bring it out? That's racist. No. But they are still fighting on behalf of their group, and they're using their talking points to promote their agenda. So what happens is you get black people on here talking about some gay marriage, and that is probably the least of our worries right now. And we have to go back and forth about who will go around them and who won't go around them. Now, I don't think Jewish people having these conversations. I don't think Asian people having these conversations about, well, y'all wouldn't go around them or y'all would go around them. See how we get split up. So it's like the
It happens
conversation
just like that.
and the priorities we get distracted. And that's also another reason why, I guess I probably wouldn't hang around in my recreational time with people behaving like that, because we also know the power of influence and curiosity and temptation, of vulnerability, being outnumbered by a group of people that really don't believe in the same things you believe in, and before you know it, you end up violated by somebody that slipped something in your drink.
Yep.
And somebody gonna ask you, well, why was you hanging around them anyway? I thought they was cool. Oh, so you just cause one of them cool and two of them cool, all of them cool, all of them safe. So I mean, I think when Jesus was going around those people, he was going there for a purpose. He was going to convert. He was going to try to lead them to the light, like Donald said. As far as just going to hang out with them and kick back and wiggle his toes while they sit back and kiss and pinch each other booty, I don't think Jesus went around them for that. I don't think he went around them and said, hey, man, I see what y'all drinking on and smoking on. That dope good. Ooh, I bet it's good. I think he went and tried to pull them out of that situation. He had a purpose, the reason why he went there. Now, if we had a purpose to try to go and convert these people, that's cool. But if they just want us to hang out and have a good time and get comfortable and relax and smile and kiki while they pinch booties and kiss on each other and model around in dresses and high heel shoes, nuh-uh.
Wow. 30 seconds we go.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Good deal. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
I was okay.
Oh, no. Cassandra, you there?
Yeah, no, I was trying to, for some reason, get my phone off of mute.
Oh, okay.
But
the mute button got you.
What are we still talking about? Being around gay people, or did we flip to something else?
It's still pretty much the same time. I'm going to switch it up and go to something else. But if you want to talk on that again, you certainly can.
No, I don't.
Okay, Toussaint, you want to say something on that before we move on?
I don't want to say something on that, but I'm just saying, I don't understand. I miss the points where when we talk about us as a people, I don't get offended by you saying, oh, I'm that black guy. Or I'm that African American, and you don't want to hang with me. But time you mention certain topics, people get all in their feelings. And like I done said something wrong. I don't want to hang with you. That's just it. I mean, it's not a bad thing, I don't think. If you don't want to hang with me because of where I am, I don't hang with crooked preachers. I don't hang with them. I don't hang with preachers that think they're above everybody. I don't hang with them because that's not me. That's not who I want to represent.
Exactly.
They don't get offended because they think they're bigger than me anyway. But when we start talking about certain groups of people, everybody gets on their high horse or they get touchy-feely, and we get jacked up. And then we want to say that, oh, we shouldn't feel that way. Really? I mean, I don't know. I miss the point sometimes because, again, Jesus, the whole message is change your ways. And he wasn't the type of man, I don't think. He even turned water to wine, but he wasn't drunk with the wine. He spoke against being drunk with wine. I thought. That's why he made parables about certain people's actions so that they would turn because he has a better place and a better life that he has to offer. If salt has no season, it ain't good for nothing. And that's the cream of the crop. Exactly. What good are we if we just go along to get along?
Mm-hmm.
That don't make no sense.
No. Okay. Mr. Hicks, Mr. Hicks, you there? Oh,
Sorry.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's on your heart, brother?
Well, what I was thinking about is communication, group communication, how it happens, and I think a lot of times we set out with an attempt to control things, and I think that a certain degree of that is necessary. But I think the free flow of communication is on this podcast, the free flow is a great thing because sometimes it surprises you where it goes, and somewhere in the middle of that, the creator speaks through.
Mm-hmm.
But people have their areas, and that's just true. I think the whole thing is learning how to accept it and state your position and move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's no big thing. It's not a big thing. It's a small thing. It's a little small thing we're dealing with. We just disagree on this point here. Let's go on to something else. And maybe after the podcast and people think about the conversation, even listen to it over again, you say, okay, I see that a little different now that I heard it then through some of my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of how I was feeling and how our emotions and how we are feeling. I was thinking about how I learned to deal with ugly people. I would look at them and then I try to picture them as a little baby because they were a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes because they're so
Hicks.
traumatized, even though you're
Mr.
dealing
Hicks.
with a big grown person,
Mr.
you still
Hicks.
deal with the baby in them.
Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hicks, you something else, Mr. Hicks. Did you just say? Did you just say?
I'm just trying to keep it real.
I just let ask you. Did you just say how you deal with ugly people?
Yeah, people that behave ugly. You've been around people that behave ugly. They don't follow protocol. They're a little traumatized and stuff, and your emotions and stuff make you want to just say something bad or slap them or whatever, right? But you see them as a little baby, walk around crawling on the floor with Pampers and saying, "I'm not," and it just make you smile. You don't know what you smile about, but you get through that situation without being ugly yourself.
Okay,
Because if you let ugly people, they'll make you be ugly too.
Okay, Mr. Hicks, I wasn't gonna stop because I felt as though you had to get that out, Mr. Hicks. So I let you go ahead on it.
Did, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to the corner now.
Go on. You know where it's at. You know where it's at. You've been over there before.
I'm going over there.
Watch this. Tucson, how do you deal with ugly people, Tucson? Ain't no telling what we're about to get right now, y'all. Put your seatbelt on. Ain't no telling what we're about to get. But
Mama's baby always is cute. But I can't help but frown on my face. You must have been a beautiful baby. I'm just playing.
Lord Jesus. Hey, Cassandra, I'm gonna ask you the same question. How do you deal with and we're gonna move on to another topic. We're gonna get off of this. This is way out Wednesday though, so we can do this on Wednesday. But Cassandra, how do you deal with ugly people?
I pass because you're not going. I am not going down that rabbit hole. No, I'm not. I'm being good today. Thank you. No, I'm being good. Y'all not gonna pull me in there. No, ugly people. No.
Okay. Rico, do you just look at him and frown? What did that Fred Sample look? Yes, sir.
No, man, look, I ain't gonna do that, man, because I know what Hicks was talking about. He was talking about ugly in the heart, man.
In
You know
personality,
what
yeah, he
I'm
was talking
saying?
about personality, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
The way they act.
yeah. He was talking about that, man. And I
At
mean,
first, though, Rico, you gotta admit, at first though, you thought something though. At
yeah,
first,
you know, when he said it at first, I'm like, but then but at the same time, I know he likes to go deeper than that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
I'm like, oh no, he's not talking about aesthetically. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? He's not being superficial. He's
Mhm.
talking about, you know, the way you carry yourself, because people can act very ugly.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and don't get me wrong, even though we were going into a funny place, but man, I mean, that could end up being another hour and a half topic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ugliness on the inside of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how nasty people can be. I mean, you know, we talk about rudeness, you know, I mean, and not to just be harping on Trump, you know what I'm saying? Because I always remember how he did that handicap reporter, man. I mean, that just, the day that I saw that, man, that really just turned me against him. I can honestly say the disrespect that he showed that man and how inconsiderate he was for his handicap. And he did that in front of an auditorium, I mean, a coliseum full of people.
Yep. And they
They
clapped.
laughed, man.
Yeah.
And then I saw the interview with that reporter, and that was all she wrote. I do not like ugly acting people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't deal with them, you know. At times, if I have to deal with them, don't get me wrong, I got a problem with fighting bullies.
Mm-hmm.
Bullies are ugly people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I have to find myself not being a vigilante type.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that even though I just turned 50 years old, I still have to find myself not being that person that wants to take power into my own hands and deal with evil people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ugly people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, no, I don't that's not something, you know, once again, like you said, with birds of a feather flock together. I think that's true, because I cannot associate with ugly people. And you know, you have some people that'll say, well, that's just how they are. They cool if you get to know them. That's just how they are. Nah, ugly people will do it to you if you enable them, and if you're somewhat complicit if you're around it and they know you tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
If they know you tolerate their ugliness, then they gonna find out, or they'll pretty soon flip it on you, because they see you don't find nothing wrong with it. You acceptable of it.
Yep.
And ugly behavior is unacceptable to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Toya with a T. Good.
Green.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Cassandra. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to piggyback on what Rico said. You know, when I spend a lot of time around people sometimes.
Ugly people.
And there are certain people within within my they are within my circle. But it's I have one person that everybody keeps saying how, you know, nasty she is, blah 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 blah. And God told me that she was my assignment. So I was like, okay, I said, because, you know, I will pop her in the mouth, you know, she say something crazy, but okay, you say she's an assignment, I'm gonna work with her. And I'm telling you, recently she told me, she said, the fact that you don't let me get away with stuff, you know, you check me. That's the word she used. She said, the fact that you check me has me growing as a person. And not because you're not going to say just anything to people around me, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to check you. So, you know, sometimes we're to help those people, you know, if they want to be helped. Now, if it's a person that don't want to be helped and they're going to just continue with the same thing and no change, I'm not going to spend time around you, period, point blank. But if I see you trying to make moves toward changing your attitude and stuff and the way that you deal with people, then I'm all in. And she literally just said to me recently, you know, thank you for checking me and putting me in place, because now I see that I'm growing.
And Cassandra, I know exactly what you're talking about. I would never call the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, I will check you. Yeah.
I know exactly. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Toya, I gotta hear your heart on this, Toya. How do you deal with ugly people? And then now, you know, we're not talking about physically ugly, we're talking about ugly acting people. Let me clarify. Let me clarify that for a second.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
You know, it depends on what kind of ugly, because you
Mhm.
got different types of
Yeah, they
ugly.
just nasty
You know what I'm
ugly.
saying?
Just nasty ugly to everybody. Just nasty, filthy, dirty, dirty nasty.
The
Well,
type to take your hamburger bun and wipe it on the ground before they make your sandwich and then
Mm.
laugh about it.
no, you fired. You fired. We finna fight. We finna fight. You're not finna do that in front of me,
Mhm.
for real. But
And just talk bad to
no,
everybody.
there's still no. There's still different levels of nasty, and there's
Mhm.
still different reasons why. You know what I'm saying? Like in a relationship, somebody being bitter. You know what I'm saying? And that's why in that relationship they don't necessarily be ugly with other people. In the work environment, same thing.
Mhm.
And then some things can just be taken out of control. For instance, at work we're working, and this little girl, and you can tell she's a little special. But me and you'll be talking to shit, but right in, oh yeah, such and such, such. So she did that for about a week.
Mhm.
And I just don't put smiles on what I say. I'm just about business. So I say, hey, do you understand that when you interrupt somebody's conversation, that's rude?
Mhm.
So they said, oh, Miss Toya. I said, oh, Miss Toya, what? Well, I said, no. We study around here having conversations. People are being rude and disrespectful, and nobody's checking them. You can't do that.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't do that. But then again, we're at a company to where they made me sit 2 hours waiting on somebody.
Mhm.
Rude and disrespectful. Nasty and ugly is not only in action. I mean, in speech.
Mhm.
It's in actions too. You have no respect for someone's time. You have no respect for what someone's going through. You call and say, hey, my parent passed away. Oh, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We still need to come to work.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So there's different instances
Mhm.
of ugliness. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the guy who had me to sit the 2 hours. Oh, hey, how you doing? No, I'm well. How you? Oh, I'm on top of the world. Oh, so you on top of the world, but you had me waiting to come work for you for 2 hours. So you're
Mhm.
saying it's okay for me to come 2 hours late. And then when
Mhm.
I say something firmly, like, I apologize, sir, but that's not the right thing to do. Is it okay for me to come and work 2 hours late and I keep my job?
Mhm.
Oh, she's feisty. No, I'm not feisty. It's just honest. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think in 2022, we got different versions of what ugly is, because some people just sensitive. Some people just play that game. It's not really about being nasty. But even if it is an individual that's being nasty, like Cassandra, just, hey, you didn't say that right. Or hey,
Mhm.
take whatever the issue is and express it to them. For instance, I'm gonna use the black woman. We supposed to be nasty. We supposed to have attitude. You know what I'm saying? At least that's the reputation that they try to put on us.
Mhm.
Oh well, we out of line, or we out of order. But that's not the case. We just don't take no mess.
Mhm.
So it depends on the real definition on what nasty is, because some people take things and blow it out of control simply because they cannot do what they want to do or do you any kind of way. But if it's an actual situation, like again, I said, maybe a situation and you're dealing with somebody and their attitude is terrible. It could be your parent, it can be a coworker.
Mhm.
If you ask them a conversation about their personality or how it's coming along and they're unaware of it, normally that check will make you think twice. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So when it comes to being ugly, there are different point of views and
30
different
seconds.
perspectives that
Mhm.
you really have to be careful of, because
Mhm.
they can take your firmness and you not taking mess and you saying things in a firm kind of way as being nasty too. So it is different angles, and either way it go, a conversation needs to be had.
Exactly. Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Gonna go to Leonard. Then we're gonna go to I think we got Navy with us as well. Leonard, how do you deal with nasty people? How do you deal with ugly people? Let me say ugly people. How do you deal with ugly people? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family. Usually, it depends for me.
on the ugliness and what can be tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
Because there may be a reason there that you can resolve. Because I know that there are some people that treat certain people some ways, but they don't treat me that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a lot more demanding. And you don't get the same opportunity that and courtesy that probably someone else has given you.
Mm-hmm.
Because immediately, if you talking and say so, hold on right there, but I don't get down like that. Watch your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I go so far as to warn you. I don't told you once. I told you twice. You do it again, it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just what a person can tolerate. You know, some people don't have home training. Excuse me. Or some people don't have manners. Or some people who are just disrespectful. Like what Toya just said. Even my doctor will tell you, if my appointment is at 3:00, think I'm going to be sitting there at 3:30 if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't laugh. Because one, I'm particular about things. So, you know, I think I heard someone say, well, you know, that's how they is. No, that's how they be with you. They're not going to do that to me. I guarantee you they're not going to do it to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I have standards. And I don't like people around me of low standards that would treat other people that way. If I was thinking about in my study this morning, and God choosing the disciples and the 12 that he chose. He didn't, you know, wasn't no specific type of folks that we know of, but he chose them for some reason. Because whatever it was, he knew that he was going to teach them and he was going to train them the proper way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work with you if you trainable. And I see that it's just, you know, just if we fix this, that, and the other, it makes you a whole different person. But if you being ugly like that intentionally, and that's your choice, then you gonna get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. That's good. Let me go to Navy. Navy, good morning. How you doing this morning? Curtis, coming to you next.
Good morning, y'all. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Navy, how do you deal with ugly people?
Short answer, accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty much how everyone has summed it up. It depends. Because, I mean, technically, my 9 to 5 is I would deal with people outside of my office would consider ugly people.
Mm-hmm.
But I know them to not be ugly, bruised, or slightly broken. However, if we're at a restaurant and you're being rude to a server, then I'm going to deal with you accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that may be, like, you know, I ain't gonna put hands on nobody. I mean, not in that setting, unless it calls for it. However,
Navy got some thug in her. Navy got some thug. Navy got some thug in her. Go.
No, I'm just country. but accordingly, and I hold them accountable. And I think that's where I was listening to Toya and Mr. Leonard. Well, Miss Toya and Mr. Leonard say, you know, depending on the situation, but there's an accountability that has to be had there. Like, if you're being just god awful to someone, and I don't know the reason, well, first I'm gonna ask, well, you know, what happened to you today? You know, like, you okay? You good? You want to talk about it? And I've done that even in the grocery line, because when you snatch my car from me, or you snatch my money from me, or throw change or whatever, then that's going to bring something up out of me. And I feel like I need to address that with you. But I'm not just going to go just country on you or whatever. I'm just going to ask, because it could be as simple as me just asking, well, bro, like, what happened? Somebody made you mad today or what?
Mm-hmm.
And then that turns into a conversation. But I do have to hold you accountable for the way that I experience you in that moment. And the same way with me, if I'm being ugly, if I'm being nasty, hold me accountable for how you experience me. And so that's how I deal with people accordingly.
That's good. That's good. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what up, Ronnie? What's going on, family? How y'all?
Hey, doing good. You okay, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had to work last night.
Oh, okay. Kurt, how do you deal with ugly people? Let me ask. Let me just get let me get this answer out, you brother. How do you deal with ugly people?
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know God don't like ugly and the devil damn sight don't like looking at himself,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I ain't got time for that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Who got time for that? I have to deal with them in my career field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I have to, every day in my career field, and now they starting to recognize, like, hold on now, we ain't gonna be able to run that by Mr. Kurt. I'm not gonna be able to approach Mr. Kurt like that. I'm not gonna be able to say that to Mr. Kurt. I'm not gonna be able to say it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Allow for them to deal with themselves. That's not my job to deal with you. If you want to be ugly and nasty and mean, then you be ugly, nasty, and mean. That's how you feel. That's the spot you want to be in. Then you did. Don't bring it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. I'm 50 years old, man. I've had enough time in my life dealing with ugly, nasty people. Now I've seen the life that I had. I can only thank God. You know what I mean? Like that I ain't locked up in jail, dead somewhere behind ugly, nasty people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I hear everybody. Everybody been on point, man. Sometimes you gotta check it right there at the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way I check it is sometimes I might say, "Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?" You know what I mean? And if that person decides to explain,
Mm-hmm.
that I stand there. But if they don't say nothing, or if they give me some kind of I walk off.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Leave it at that. You know, I'm not gonna stand there and have get into no verbal altercation or I was taught to never have verbal intercourse with a person that don't have nothing to put in and ain't trying to get nothing out.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Rico, how do you deal with ugly people, brother?
Well, I like what everybody's saying, man, because it comes down to me about a character issue and being considerate or inconsiderate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like what Curtis just said in Navy when she said that about handling people accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis said a key word: I have to deal with some of these people sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the thing about it. If I don't need to, if it's not a necessity for me to deal with you, then and I see this is how you get down, I ain't gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
If I happen to have to be involved with you to a point to where I realize you need me and I'm an asset, but I don't need you, you may treat me nicer than everybody else. You might give me a little favor. That's how people do when they use you. They'll treat you nice when they get something they want out of you. But I see you nasty to everybody else. Imagine me sitting back laughing. Because you don't treat me like that. I'm a valuable asset to you. Nah, I might say something to you about how cool that is. You know what I'm saying? Or then after a while, I might just get quiet with you. I might back up. If we have to deal with each other, I'm going to keep that distance. You're going to know, hey, like he don't want to deal with me too much. What's wrong with him? He like he got a problem with me. And it's going to be, it ain't going to be kind. It ain't going to be rude either. It's just going to be a standoffish. You know, I'm going to deal with you only because I got to deal with you. Let's just talk work. Okay, I'm over here doing my thing. And if you have to come back and ask me why you don't deal with me, man, look, man, a couple of, even it might be a woman, look, some of the things you do, I don't get down with. And to be honest with you, it behooves you not to be that way with me. Because you'll trigger something out of me that these other people don't give you. I'm doing me and you a favor.
Yeah. So go on, hit on.
Go on with that. You get what I'm saying? Because some people intentionally do that. When you know that they are nice and kind to other people because these people got something they want, but then anybody beneath them or on the same level as them, they can handle them any kind of way, that classism type of thing. I'm going to say something about it if I got to be around you. But for the most part, if I'm not a follower, I'm more of a leader type. I'm standoffish, you know. I've been a follower before. Don't get me wrong. You know, I had to learn from somebody to do certain things. But if I know, I mean, I think about people in the past, man. even dope boys, man, that just abuse dope, that abuse junkies. You know, somebody didn't have some money and they wanted just a little piece of rock, and they would make them lick some oil out their car engine that was dirty or something. I mean, it just I saw the game, asked somebody, hey, you like Balenciaga shoes? They said, yeah, what would you do for a pair of $1,500 Balenciaga shoes? I'll do anything for him. He said, well, dig in that trash can and take a bite off the first food that you see, or drink out the first, and they would do it for those shoes. And I'm like, why would you humiliate them and degrade them like that? And why would they degrade themselves for something material like that? But I thought that was an ugly situation, and that made me look at him differently.
Exactly.
You know, you did that for your amusement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got the money. Look what, watch me record these people and what they'll do for a pair of $1,500 tennis shoes. All that was all messed up to me. But I guarantee you, certain people he wouldn't do that with.
Exactly.
So I mean, you know, I don't deal with people like that. Like I said, if I don't need you, then I ain't gonna have to. I won't deal with you. But if you, you know, if I got to deal with you, or we got to get a goal accomplished or something like that, then I'll check you and hold you accountable. But I will let you know that that's unacceptable, being inconsiderate. And most of the times, if somebody is wanting to come along and be a part of what you're trying to do, they'll listen to it, they'll receive it. But if they feel like they don't need you, you need them, they're gonna turn it around on you too.
Exactly. And it's sad, man. And you're absolutely right. It does happen that way all the time. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? How do you deal with ugly people? Will I come to you next?
Pretty short and sweet. Be blessed and stay out of my way.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, to me, it's one of those things of if you're going to be nasty, you're not going to be around my family. I'm going to pray for you.
That's good.
However, I ain't got to be around you. So it's just one of those things. And if they're so bad for community, then we need to group together and make sure that person isn't affecting the community.
Exactly. That's good.
I don't see how it can be that complicated. They're either good for community or they're not. Point blank. Man, I was just sitting here thinking, you know, everything, all of our shows and everything, and the crazy part is the solution can be so simple, yep, folks always make it so complicated. And what we're talking about right now is a solution. There are evil people in this world that cause separation and all kinds of things like that. And as long as we get distracted by other things, we, as the human race, we are not going to come together and actually deal with it. We're going to continue to let distractions keep us from actually dealing with the nasty.
Good deal. Watch this, y'all. And before I go on, I want to let everybody know. I want to invite everybody to come on out, man. We have a cup of jazz. It's gonna be on the 27th, Thursday, the 27th of this month. We have to have the link on the screen where you can actually get your tickets. Want everybody to come out. Let's come together as a group. Let's come together as a group. And early bird tickets only $10. Only $10 is all it is. So I got the information on the screen. Y'all come on out and have a good time with us. Thursday, not this Thursday, but next week Thursday is going to be a cup of jazz. I'm inviting everybody. If you're part of the group, you're part of the family. Y'all come on out and have a good time with us. Definitely want everybody there. And if you want to become a part of the family, come on out and have a good time with us. It's open. A cup of jazz, live jazz, right here. And it's going to be in Lilburn. So y'all look at this screen, look at the information, and go get your early bird tickets. Only $10. Get your early bird tickets. Come on out, have a good time with us. Willow.
Hey, Rockin'. Good morning.
Good morning, Willa.
Good morning, Ryan.
Willa, I want to ask you a question, Willa. How do you deal with ugly people?
Good morning, also Morning Glow.
Good morning.
You know what, I've learned to deal with ugly people, because before They used to take me out my realm, and then you give them power over you when you do that. So I've learned not to give them power over me. When I worked at the White Sox, because baseball, we don't have baseball no more, I came across quite a few ugly people that just was nasty in their attitude, wanted to talk to you any kind of way, thought because they was a customer, they were always right. So the way I deal with them is not on their level. Because it's easy to stoop to an ugly person's level. Easy. Oh my God. It is so easy. But when you learn to not to give them the power over you, it becomes that much easier. You treat them with kindness, even though they may be nasty, even though they may have a bad attitude, and you don't allow them to change you. Because I know some people say, well, I don't have to. Sometimes in your job, you got to deal with some ugly people because you work with some ugly people that, don't think you deserve the job. People, so when you work with those kind of people, you don't give them the edge over you. You always keep the edge. And that's how I deal with ugly people. I don't give them the power over me. I've learned to do that. I ain't always done it now. I haven't always, but I thank God that he gave me the spirit to learn how to do something to change when I'm not doing it right. And that's what's on my heart right now.
Good deal, good deal. Cassandra, talk to me, Cassandra. Now, how do you deal with the ugly people? What do you do, Cassandra? How do you deal with them?
I smack them in the mouth and then I pray for them. That right? There you go, Toya. Smack them in the mouth first. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not gonna do that.
Pop goes the weasel.
Is Raheem still on? Did it get knocked off?
Who that?
I think he got.
No, I'm here.
Huh?
Y'all say me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I answered the question.
No. What I'm about to do is send you over there in that corner. What I'm about to do. That's what I'm about to do.
I didn't cuss.
No, you didn't cuss. You talking about busting people in the mouth. You talking about and yeah. I heard all that. I heard all that. Talking about knocking people in their mouth and stuff like that. Now, Rico, what we gonna do with Cassandra? Rico just shaking his head. He just I got another question I want to go. Did I touch everybody with that particular question? I didn't miss anybody that I'm making sure checking my list. I'm making my list and I'm checking it.
The Hicks on?
No.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about part 2, Raheem.
What's part 2?
Be nastier than them.
Oh Lord.
How about that? Quick scenario, right? Working at this radio station, not radio station. I was working at this station and this lady, she was so rude to other people because my swag looked like you better not even bring it over this way. I dodged a lot of bullets because my swag just looked like, don't try me. My swag just looked like, not her. So I've seen a lot of people be nasty, go off on me, I done seen this lady go off on a man and make this man cry because she just come in there and, you did this and this and there. I had to turn around and walk away. Toya, don't you agree? Toya is a certain level of nasty, and that's not it. It's a difference between being firm and nasty. It's a difference between being honest and nasty. See, I'm the person, I'm going to say what everybody else is thinking. Some people got a habit of, being too, passive. And people just get to say whatever they want to say, do what they want to do, and it gets out of control. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But when you have a personality as such like mine, I'm going to stop you dead in your tracks. Hold up, who you talking to? Yeah, I don't talk to people like that. Well, that's you. No, I don't talk to people like that. I might say something firmly. But what you're doing right now, we can't do that right there. So again, we got to determine different levels of what nastiness is, not firmness and nastiness. And again, you better check it at the door. You have to check it. If you don't have that swag, and again, we say it all the time. Somebody just said it earlier. You can look at some people and they do it to them. But when it comes to you, like most of the people on this show, we might not suffer from that problem being nasty with us. Because I think we have big personalities.
Yeah.
But some people you can just look at and tell that they're pushovers, and certain people do it to them on a regular basis. Sometimes it is, the places that you go. Sometimes it is when you go to get your car checked up. You know what I'm saying? Some it is even at the hospital. But I think it's very important that we as human beings, regardless of the situation, even if I don't like confrontation, you have to say something. You have to stand up for yourself. I mean, even with parents, our parents got a habit of handling certain things certain ways that is not right. And I find myself having discussions with my family. It doesn't matter what you're doing, how you're talking to me is wrong. And I'm finna get out from around you, because then you're going to make me talk back to you wrong. And it's just not going to be a good mix. So I just think it's very important, and no matter what environment and no matter who it is, stand up for yourself. And if you feel like something is going sideways or getting a little bit out of hand, just simply have a conversation with that person. Hey, you know that you said this and it made me feel a kind of way. Maybe they didn't notice it, but if they did notice it and they still keep doing it, now they're saying F you, F what you said, and F how you feel.
Exactly.
And you need to come up with a plan. Either you need to go away and get away from that person before you get in trouble, or you need to get that situation rectified and get a mediator immediately, because it's not going to turn out right.
Absolutely. 508-924-3521. The question was asked, how do you deal with racist people? How do you deal with racist people is one of the questions that was asked. I think it was actually Paul that asked that particular question. And I want to go to Tucson. Tucson, how do you deal with racist people?
Pop them in the mouth.
I'm glad you. Yeah, me too. Yeah, for real. In a minute. In the name of Jesus. You've been
Lord,
in the name of Jesus.
Lord.
That's right. You better say that, Tucson. You better say that. All them saying, yes, sir.
Rico.
For real. I mean, but it's strange, and I don't mean any harm, of how that come out. We're talking about ugly people. Now we're talking about racist people. Two different people. It's an ugly thing, but it's two different subjects.
Yes, sir.
And we're trying to tie in. Now we got to tie in racism, ugliness, which is an ugly thing, but it's actually different. That's just me. I don't have to be right. I will never have to be right. But we when we talk about certain things, something comes up out of that conversation. And the ugliest thing I can think of, well, actually, thank you, Paul, is racism. That's an ugly thing. Back off of me with that. You better. Don't come at me like that. Let's start this conversation. Let me say it like this. If I know a person who is racist, don't view that. Act like you're not when you're around me. Because I'm not gonna act right. I'm not gonna respond. We're gonna have this. Let's start this conversation all over because you came at me wrong, and you can't talk to me like that. Don't call me. I'm not your nothing. Don't call me Bud and Bubba. Please don't do that, because you're disrespecting the name my mama gave me. I don't answer to that. Oh, that's just how we talk down here. I've been down here all my life. Hey, you're not going to talk to me like that, period. We're going to start this conversation over again because I'm not one of your buddies. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud, I just want you to get... I had a fellow, and he came with an aggressive conversation from the get-go, out the door. Didn't say good morning. I said, hold up. And I just, wait a minute, stop. Like, where you at? Oh, what up? Wait a minute. I don't have those type of conversations with nobody. Tone down a little bit and we can talk. Otherwise, this conversation is over. Because you're a little bit too, that's a little bit too much for me. Well, I just go talk to somebody else, because you're not going to get anything out of me. Period. I'm not even going to entertain the conversation. Well, I just go wherever you want to. but you're not going to come to me with that. Now, if you keep on in that direction, I think we're going to have some problems. Well, you supposed to be, no, I ain't supposed to be anything. I'm who I am. That's just some things that I do. But that ain't got nothing to do with you talking to me like that, because I'm telling you, it will get a little bit more ugly than it is right now.
Exactly.
In the name of Jesus.
Why you keep saying that, man? Why you keep saying that? let me go.
Yeah, well, you know why I say that? No, I know. You know why I say that? Some people take meekness for weakness.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Good deal. Good deal. Kurt, how do you deal with racist people?
Well, Raheem, first I try and stay away from people like that because I don't like jail. I don't like nothing about it. I don't like the way that it smells. I don't like the way that it moves. I don't like the feeling that it puts me in, the mindset that it forces me to exist in on a daily and constant basis. However, somewhere I read that a 3-rope cord is not easily broken. So for me, in my time, with my family, get my commissary straight, brother. Put my money on the books. We ain't got to waste taxpayers' money all on that. We gonna fight for my defense. No. I'm gonna give to them. I have lived long enough and have given enough kind words and words of instruction that would enhance the lives of other people. That's one situation I just don't feel like I need to enhance anymore. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna beat them because obviously that's what they need, a beating. They need a whooping, man.
So you're gonna give them what the doctor orders?
They need a whoop. Those people, would always get me with those people, man. Is they're always down to be that type of person in a crowd of other folks that think like that. You get them off to themselves, and all that change, brother. All that change. You sit them down on that yard, they don't get connected with the right people. All that change, bro. That behavior is just so doggone ignorant, man. It's so ignorant. I'm not gonna tolerate that.
Good deal. Good deal. Navy, how do you deal with racist people?
Now, and especially depending on the setting that I'm in, and I've shared a story with y'all to where I was met with some racism here at my job. Now, in my job, I have to be what I like to call nice Nancy. So I have to use my other strengths and tell you off in I have to beat you with my words and my intellect. So I have to do it. I deal with people that way. Now, if you would have caught me a few years ago, well, back in the day, I'll say, and Jen and Danita call a clarinet case because I don't like disrespect. And I don't like to be called out of my name. And just because I present myself and carry myself in a certain way, you think that you can say certain things and get away with that. No, ma'am, no, sir, no turkey and no ham. You don't do that. Rodan didn't raise no punks. So now I have to beat you with my words and my intellect because I have too much to lose. I have a job. I represent my family, and I have a business that I could possibly use. So I have to be careful as to how I handle ignorant people and disrespect. But back in the day, it was a clarinet case.
Wow. So. Wow. Let me do this. It's another topic I want to talk about today. Anybody else have anything they want to say on this particular topic before we move on? Okay, go ahead, Badger.
I actually asked them if we can sit down and have a conversation. So I can ask them why. And use an opportunity to serve and hope that something I say might help them go down a different path.
That's good. That's good.
I'll tell you this much though, that's not easy to do.
Let me ask you this question. Stopping your time for a second, Badger. Let me ask you this question. Say if and I want to use both sides of the coin. Say if it's an older or white gentleman that's a racist, and you come and you ask me, let's sit down and talk about, why you're a racist. And do you think it will be received the same as if I ask him the same question? Or if it's a black person that they say is a racist, would he receive you the same way he would receive me if that question was asked? How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think it depends on how much they are. I know there was that one black gentleman that spent time with some KKK members and things like that to spread awareness and stuff. I don't remember his name. I'm assuming somebody on here probably knows who I'm talking about.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
And at first, he wasn't received well at all. But he didn't give up. So I think there's a lot to go into that. Off of first impressions, I would assume I probably would be more received until I open my mouth. Just based on appearance, if we want to go that route, that's what I would assume.
Daryl Davis is what came across the screen. Public Citizen said his name was Daryl Davis.
Daryl Davis, okay.
So who's Daryl Davis?
He was the
white guy, black guy that hung out with the Ku Klux Klan members.
Yeah, and he do what?
I can't hear you, Curtis.
You talking about the one that infiltrated the Klan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, start your time back up now.
And he was very diligent. Was very concerned for his life and things like that. But he felt he had a purpose, and he helped undo some of the toxic teachings that were passed down by bringing a different perspective. Every group of people, every race has their bad people. That doesn't mean all of them are.
30 seconds.
And an individual can make a difference. It's just, I guess, is it your path, and are you willing to answer?
Good deal. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, hold on. Let me, Cassandra, hold on, everybody. Cassandra, go ahead. Then we'll go around. Everybody that has something to say, I'll definitely touch each and every one of you. Cassandra, go ahead.
Yeah, this is, and see, this is where it comes to, and Badger mentioned it. This is where it comes. The dynamics are different. As a black woman, if a white man, and I've had it happen to me, and that thing stuck with me for years. I was traumatized by it. When a white guy called me a nigger B, and the one that was in my neighborhood, that the reason I left South Carolina is because I had a racial incidents with some white supremacists in my neighborhood, and I talk, I say what I got to say, but I was terrorized by those people.
Mhm.
And I was afraid in my own house.
Wow.
And I think I've told this story more than once. The guy, I heard somebody outside my door. And when I opened my door, there was a white neighbor of mine standing there with a sawed-off shotgun and pointed it at me and said, "Nigga B, if you don't get out of this neighborhood, we're going to kill you."
Mm.
That's trauma. And when I think about what our people have been through, it is different. When other people, it's just different.
Mhm.
When you talk about racism and when it comes to us, because there was a time that there was so much fear, we would never react to a white man calling us a nigger or boy, or you better not say nothing. You better not even look at them, because it couldn't cost you your life, and it did cost many Black people their lives.
Mhm.
So it's a different dynamic when you're talking about us and racism and a white person when it comes to racism. I'm sorry, it's different.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. It is. It's actually it's totally different. I think there was Curtis that wanted to say something. Curtis, was that you?
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to ask Brother Badger, in hearing what he threw out, I completely agree. But I just want to add a caveat to it and ask the question.
What's
Mhm.
a caveat?
Yeah,
Caveat.
a caveat. Like I want to add something to it, like an addendum.
Oh, okay.
Right. You know what I find even worse than the racism, than the racist itself, or the racist himself or herself, is those who lay silent from that very same side of the aisle.
Mhm.
Those who have become complicit because the idea is, I don't think like that, right? So my question is, do you think that, or is it safe for me to say that because people remain complicit that are from that very same side of the aisle, do you think they're doing more harm to the culture than those who are actually saying, "Hey, I hate you, N-word," or "I hate you, tree hugger," or you know what I mean? Like, do you think that the people that's remaining silent is doing more harm to the culture than those who are just straightforward?
Ooh. How do I say that in a civil manner? I have to admit that question is one that triggers me, and I get quite angry about this topic. Um, a lot of it has to do with awareness. Um, as in I had a discussion on a different show of where me and this other gentleman was talking about systematic racism and how certain things are used. And one of the examples I used is the attack on menthol cigarettes, where they specifically, and here's the crazy thing, I'm like, if they said they were going to take away alcohol because of white people, is that acceptable? And would that be racist? And they had a hard time being able to answer that. And then I asked them, I'm like, so is it okay? I believe it's the FDA that was doing it, or the USDA. It's one of those, I believe, that made a comment about menthol cigarettes being banned or taken off the shelves due to African Americans primarily smoking them. Doesn't that push a certain type of narrative or thought process? Like the thought process of it's black people's fault for menthol cigarettes being taken away. Just like it could have been, white people's fault for alcohol being taken away. And they're like, well, they'd never say white. I'm like, then why did they say African American? Well, does it predominantly, aren't those the ones that smoke them? I'm like, no, actually, white people actually outnumber them as far as menthol cigarettes go. And
30 seconds.
I feel that the question that you're asking me is there is a I'm going to use the word sliding scale or spectrum of awareness of in what could be considered to quiet people. Some it's out of fear, some it's out of the amount of awareness that they have. And then there are those of us that work very hard to fight. And some of us get told to stay in our corner, which makes no sense to us because we want to fight and help, push for a better future for all of our kids and things like that, to change the narratives. So it's a spectrum, unfortunately. And man, there's so much I want to say on that, but I have limited time.
Good deal. Good. Let me go to Paul. Paul, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Doing all right. It's a pretty serious topic, but man, there's a lot of different directions to go on this. So I think the thing that Cassandra said earlier, I've heard her tell that story. The other story about where there was a white guy, older guy, and he was really nice to her and her family and all this, and then he dropped the bomb on her. Is like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm racist, and you're not allowed here. Like those kind of situations. That's shocking. That's
to his church. Yeah, speaking about yeah.
And I'm not black, but I've had a few situations like that where I've been put in a situation like that, and I think the thing is, to Curtis's question, I think white people are very divided. It's not even on liberal conservative. It is kind of, liberals tend to get it more than conservatives, let's be honest. Liberals are saying, well, let's fix some of these problems. Conservatives are like, what problems? Everything's fine. So, it's complicated. I don't know how to, when those situations have occurred to me, it's triggering, my response is like, whoa, what just happened? I just feel like I just got hit, but out of the blue. And I'm like, whoa, I don't go to violence, because I'm pretty capable of violence, and I don't, as Curtis said, I don't want to go to jail. I have better things in my future. So, that's why I asked the question, because I'm just curious how people deal with it. And then my other question was like, there's this other thing about microaggressions, and sometimes, this is the big thing now with anti-racism and universities and stuff, is like some people, white, black, you name it, are still slighted by anything, and they assume it's about race. Like white people now are like, oh my God, that's so racist. Everything's anti-white. Like you said anything, oh, you're attacking whites. Whites are under attack. That white people do that, black people do that, all groups do that. So my question was like, how do you know the difference between the two when it's legitimate and it's not legitimate?
It's a very thin line, brother. It's a very thin line. But let me ask you this question based on what you said as well. You say you've been confronted with that before, and it's something that's happened before you. And you didn't, I don't know whether you said you did or you did not deal with it, but can silence be construed as, or be viewed as agreements or acceptance if you don't say anything? If you see it happening and you don't say anything?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like where, I don't tolerate racism. Like I've dumped friends, just straight up. I just straight up dumped friends when I heard the racist views. That's a certain type of friend. That's like a social friend, right? I have other friends who are like just straight up political friends, and I'll get in dirty with them. I'll mix it up. And that kind of person, I'll keep them in my sphere just because I like to learn from them. But in terms of me as a victim of racism, if I ever have to deal with it, I just kind of back away from the situation because I just don't want to, you know, my impulse is to mix it up, but I just don't want to, so I just back away.
Okay. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Just listening is interesting. You know, I deal with racism a little different. I deal with racism, not necessarily racist. So I don't care about people being racist. I just don't want you implementing your ideas or you to have no positions of authority whatsoever. So, you know, when you talk about racist, personally, I don't really think I deal with many of them. It's always about an issue where I come into contact with racism. So, you know, it don't trigger nothing or whatever is wrong and I'm against it. So whenever it raises its head, I attack it full-heartedly. So a person is not really going to get into a back and forth with me. Now, we may have issues when we sitting across the table trying to get some things done. But, you know, it has to be related to an issue or something like that. But other than that, I don't sit in the company of racists like that. You know, even with, you know, I spend the majority of my time talking to Black people about racism and what they can do to fight it on, you know, certain platforms, as well as making sure that they are healing themselves or getting some help if they have problems with racial issues. But see, I'm not the person to go off and be out of control. That's just not my thing. There's nothing you can walk up and say to me to make me go crazy.
Wow. Okay. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Hey, Mama, good to have you on with us this morning. Definitely appreciate you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Man, so be careful what I say on this. I'm gonna say I guess it depends on what those racist people do. You know, they could just be speaking their mind or being cute. You know, you probably go back and forth with them and ignore it, or they could just catch you in a bad situation and want to mean you some harm, some physical harm. You know, I treat you good, or you treat me good, I treat you better. You treat me bad, I treat you worse. And so it depends on what they do, man. I mean, there's levels to everything. Sometimes people can be disrespectful to the point of where you be like, well, you know what, he can think what he want to think and say what he want to say. I don't care. They can say, they can shoot birds, whatever. I don't care what they say. But then there are certain actions.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying, man, I'm on, like I said, I'm a work in progress, man. And so, you know, on certain things, like I said, it depends on what they do. Before I even start getting to the point of where I start trying to express myself and tell stories, I'm gonna just plead the fifth on the rest of that.
I got you. Mr. Hicks, talk to me, sir. Mr. Hicks, you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am. Yes, I was. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I take the headsets off. I think about how you get a new vehicle. You know, like you never notice that vehicle until you buy one. When you buy that vehicle, it's like every time you turn around, you're seeing it.
Yeah.
I believe in the principle that things don't happen to you, they happen through you. I think that what you look for in life, you find. I believe that I tried to figure out with me what had happened, and it's been rarely. I think most time it's because some what's going on, the topics of the current time, the news, and what people are talking about. will have me focus on those things they're talking about. But when I'm in that space of hey, letting your light shine, I believe that you attract to you what you are. And when it comes to you, you got to then you go do a spiritual search to know what is it about me that's attracting these situations. I mean, when I was little, when I came down south from Jersey, when I was going up to about 15 or 16, you could see the contrast. I mean, color only, water fountains, people was. But then over the years, I see that is it's not that obvious now. So there's subtle things. I guess the essence of all martial art is not to meet force with force. It's aligning yourself with that force and redirecting it. In the mental and spiritual combat, because it is a combat, you're being attacked.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle this thing? How are you going to handle it to resolve it, dilute it, or at least come out of it intact, spiritually and mentally? And in the situation dictate what to do. Sometimes it's good to just walk away. Sometimes it's good to ignore it. The most important thing is that get your emotions together. Whatever you do, don't be reacting, just act. Act, make what you're doing is acting, not reacting.
Exactly.
Not getting ugly like them.
That's good. That's good. Toy, you want to talk to me, sis?
Oh, you already know where I'm going.
Oh, Lord.
No. No. It depends on what you do. I think I share a similar stance, and y'all have heard me say this before. I'm cool with you being a racist. You got the right to not like me because I'm black. I'm not going to deal with you because that means you got a mental problem. You don't like somebody just because of the color of their skin, you got a mental issue. So whether you black or white, if you consider yourself being a racist and not liking somebody just because of the color of their skin or the size of their nose or whatever, we already ain't going to deal. But in the event, you should want to be one of them ones that's going to come knocking on my door, talking about what you going to do to me. We all got to die one day. I've always had a warped, twisted mentality, my own self, when it comes to death. I got to die one day, and it could be today if you think that you're going to make me feel like mine is at harm. Because if you come for me, I'm coming for you. Police. I'm going to jail. I don't need no keys. Just open up the gate, and when I get done handling my business, I'm going to let myself in. You're going to have to chase me, and please don't waste taxpayers' dollars.
You're going to be like
as long as you don't try to infiltrate against me and mine.
Toy, you're going to be
like
what
you want to be.
Toy, you're going to be like Otis. Let me stop your time. Pause time. Hold on. You're going to be like Otis on what's that Andy Griffith show. Let yourself into the jail. Go ahead on and go
That's
on.
Right.
Go ahead, start your time.
That's right. That's right. Yes, I am. Because again, you can be whatever you want to be. That's fine. I can make sure that I cannot be around you. But once you start to impose and infiltrate on something that I'm supposed to have a right, I take things personally. And if you tell me that I can move someplace, if you tell me that I can buy a land, if you tell me I can work someplace, if you tell me that I can do something, not in all the proper channels, because I do try to do the right thing. Once I've done that, and then you come to me talking about what you want to do to me, how you gonna harm me, take my life, I can't stay here, I can't be here. Well, you might as well get ready for war. Let's go. Let's bang, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I have no problem with how, again, people want to be, because a lot of people, it's not about color. You can be black and feel like you don't like white people. And don't get me wrong, I get it, right? Because the history we have with white people, even though I judge them accordingly, and I'm being totally transparent, y'all, I judge Caucasians accordingly. However, there's something that's just tugging on me deep in the back of my mind about what their lineage and their forefathers have done to black people, and how they really feel. You know what I'm saying? I know how you acting, but how you really feel at the end of the day. And this whole Trump thing, it really let me see, like, when we used to say how they used to go home and call us the N-word and all that stuff there. That Trump thing, it revealed all of that. And I feel like that's how we really feel, but now we're just being humane. You know what I'm saying? We're just being cordial. when we interact with each other, and that's the confusing part. But even though I look around and know that anybody can be racist, they still get the benefit of the doubt, unfortunately, a little bit more than some Caucasian people, just because of the lineage that we've been through with them. And again, you can feel however you want to feel about me, but once you start to go on crossing them commandments, want to hurt my children and stuff like that, things changes directions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
Well, I was trying to finish my sandwich.
Finish your sandwich.
My candy.
Oh.
But things change when people express themselves in a certain way, especially when they show hate towards you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no problem you hate me from over there.
Yeah.
Just stay over there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, however you want to be, that's your life. That's good with me. From a distance.
Mm-hmm.
But don't bring it to my door. Please don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I react. I'm kind of like Rico. I'm still a work in progress too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think we all are. Really.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But if you want to see the real person come out, then show yourself to be just the opposite of what they will tolerate. I done been through enough. I've seen some stuff. Really. I mean, when I was coming up to school, that they was busing everybody else. 2, we lived across the street. And having folks throw eggs at the house, passing by and shooting a little shotgun and hollering out slurs.
Mm-hmm.
Sister them walking down the street and, they have to, deal with certain things. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ain't getting off no sidewalk.
Yeah.
Don't spit. You're not going to, no, don't say that. Because I done been through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't intend to deal with that no more. From not even minor.
Mm-hmm.
I know what Pontiac means. When you start talking about Pontiac, you ever heard that saying, Raheem?
No, I don't think I heard that one.
Anybody know what Pontiac means?
Educators.
I'm going to spell it for you. Po-O, and I'm going to say Negro.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking it's a Cadillac.
Wow.
I don't play them type of jokes.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't funny.
No.
If I wanted a Cadillac, I'd go to the store and get me one.
Mm-hmm.
Not to the store, but a dealership.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not secondhand, and I'm not the second set to nobody. And don't try to shake my hand and turn your hand above my hand so that you can show that you're superior to me. Because I'm going to grab you real tight. So I'm saved by the bell.
There you go. There you go. Willa.
Hey, Raheem. Hey.
I need to hear your heart. Hold on. Let me do Willa.
Hey, Raheem.
Talk to me.
What's on my heart, Raheem, when we talk about racism, that falls up under the same category to me as ugliness, ugly people. And no matter what color they are, because racism lies in all kinds of colors. So, I had this brother who was married to a white girl. They had been married for like 35 years. They got into a fight and she called him a nigger. And then she called But let's switch that around. What if they were black? What if they were black? What if both of them was black and he did the same thing? How much difference was that? Because she was white, you called her, because she was white, you wanted to call her a racist because she used the word nigger? I mean, how can we determine how somebody else is feeling a trauma like what Miss Cassandra went through? Only thing I can say is, I am so sorry she had to go through that. But would that be so much different if a woman was white? Black people, a couple of black men came in and raped her and called her all kinds of white racist names. Would that make her feelings just invalid because she's white? All I'm saying is that I've learned to handle it different, because I remember if it was a time when I was in customer service at Taco Bell in a white neighborhood and they used to call me nigger and I used to spit in their sandwiches. I've learned not to spit in their sandwiches anymore. I've learned not to take their burgers and put them on the floor. I learned that because I realized why people do that. I feel like this, and this is the honest to God truth. When Christ died on the cross and what happened to him, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I think about that. And I forgive people because they don't know how ignorant and foolish they are when we do those kind of things. So that's what's on my heart, Raheem. I was sitting up here listening. How am I going to put what's on my heart in 3 minutes? I might have went past 3, but that's what's on my heart for now, Raheem.
Good deal. Good deal.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
You ain't made none of them. You ain't made none of them pies, did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes, ma'am. You supposed to.
But in a different form. I'm just being truthful and transparent. I came from that. I learned better, and I'm doing better. Amen.
Wow.
I want to throw something out there, please.
Hold on. It's one more thing I want to do before we get out of here. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna go to Cassandra. Are you there? Cassandra, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Cassandra, I want to ask you a question. And this is totally off topic, totally different topic, has nothing to do with in any kind of way with anything that we talked about today. Okay. Cassandra, when you dressed up and you got on your Sunday's best, and you know it looks good, right? How much of a compliment or how much of a distraction could it be if you have the right pair of shoes or the wrong pair of shoes on with that outfit?
First of all, that would never happen with me.
Oh, see.
Period. Oh, no. You know me. I am a fashionista. There would be no wrong shoe with that would not happen. I love clothes. I love shoes. I love looking nice. That is not going to happen. So we don't even need that scenario. I can't. In fact, I got a headache when you said it. Immediately my head started hurting. We don't do that. We don't do, no distraction.
But how?
Because I wouldn't do it.
How does the right pair of shoes complement the outfit? Or does they? Or do they?
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. But then nowadays, fashion-wise, and Toya could probably, and I'm sure Navy is a fashionista too. I don't know. I just hearing her voice, I feel like she might be a fashionista. But no, you wear a purple outfit, everything purple, and then you slap on some yellow shoes or something. That's just, it's fashion now. That's fashionable. So I don't know how much of a bad choice you can make, but for me, everything is going to clock together.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. Rico, now you dress to the nines, brother. You dress to the nines. How much of a compliment is how much do the shoes that you pick when you dress, you sharp, brother, sharp? How much of a compliment can those shoes be to your outfit, or are they a compliment to the outfit?
Yeah, a compliment, man. Can you imagine wearing a tuxedo outfit, man, with some flip flops? I ain't talking about no sound. I'm talking about them that come from the dollar store, the little rubber ones. Oh man, that'll be messed up, man. But man, look, I ain't trying to go back to this, man. I hate to go back to this, but I got to ask Will of this, man. You said the people that you used to do that to their food, man, they were racist.
Yes, because they was drinking, and you know, it was at Taco Bell. They would drink at night from a bar, whatever they would come from, you know, and they would just call us all kinds of niggas and stuff, and it just didn't sit well with me.
Ooh,
Can
man, you know what, man?
And I,
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, I ain't lying, man. I'm having so much joy.
I
It's so much, it's so much joy in my heart just knowing how much seasoning them people didn't know they had on their sandwich.
I throw something out there?
Lord.
I did.
I mean, don't get me
Hold on.
wrong. That's nasty, man. But I mean, like I said, man, I'm trying to grow from that too. But like I said, you do me bad, I treat you worse. You want to be nasty, I can show you nasty. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I know that sounds disgusting, man, but I just want I can only imagine them folks there having ooh, this sound was good.
Boy, y'all or something else. Go ahead, Badger. Go ahead.
Well, with what I'm about to say, I think it's going to end up probably going to have to be a topic for tomorrow or another day.
Mm-hmm.
What we talked about music and like the use of the B word in music and things and how that got adopted into the culture
Mm-hmm.
of how people speak to one another. What makes that any different than the N word? Wouldn't that push a narrative too?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's good point, Badger. But let me ask you this though, Badger. You dressed to the nines, brother. You sharp.
I don't care.
You don't care about the shoes?
Nope.
Okay, Badger.
I'm more. Are they comfortable and do they hurt my feet? And how long are they going to let me walk?
Well, Badger gonna walk out the door with Mix-Max shoes on because my right corn, I got a right corn on this foot, and I got a bunion on this foot over here. These shoes fit my feet. So
Why should I care about what someone thinks about what I wear?
Hey.
What should matter is, can they see any of my private parts? No.
That's
Is it healthy?
Badger. We got to keep going, man.
Let's go.
Okay, Leonard, what do you say to that, brother? You dressed to the nines, Leonard. You dressed to the nines. Sharp. Razor sharp. How much of a compliment are those shoes that you select, Leonard?
Always on point.
Mm-hmm.
I love shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy many shoes anymore because I don't dress up very much anymore. But the shoes are always going to complement the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now.
If it's just matching the belt and the watch.
Mm-hmm. Come on. There you go. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. What do you say? Now you sharp, Toya. Now you don't put that together. That's sharp. That's sharp. But now you got to get to your shoes. How much do those shoes complement the outfit, Toya?
When I tell you, you know how to switch directions, you gave me whiplash just then. Golly. But so yeah, no, I've always been different with the shoes though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It depends. Now, you talking about wedding day, we talking about church regular, or can I fast it up a little? You know what I mean? Because I mean, it just depends on how I feel. You know, I've even hair, outfits or whatever. I've worn a suit back in the day with boots, gym boots. You know what I mean? So I've always been different, but still the intent is still to make it the same. You want to be different, but you still want to be sharp. You know what I'm saying? And eras change, right? At one point in time, we wouldn't dare wear stripes with polka dots. But in this era, we wear white after Labor Day, stripes with polka dots, green with yellow. I mean, we do all kind of things now. And it still is what we call sharp. Might not be to your liking, but it's still sharp, But no, I've always been different with them shoes. I try to go for these shoes gonna set it off, but I will also give you whiplash on them shoes, and then we'll come out of the blue and have a suit booted from head to ankle, and them shoes will be different.
There you go. Let me go to Mr. Hicks. Then we're going to Tucson. Mr. Hicks, talk to me now. You sharp now. You don't put that outfit together, man. That's tight there, brother. Now you got to pick the shoes. How do the shoes, or do the shoes complement the outfit?
Shoes are everything. from Newark, Jersey, Florissant, you know, you could buy with shoes with jeans, shoes with everything. Yeah, shoes. If you couldn't afford all the other stuff, you had to afford the shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, the shoes. Yeah.
Ms. Hicks said you got to look at
That's
the
what
shoes.
you stand on.
The shoes.
That's what you stand on.
He said
That's
the
the
shoes gonna be the
foundation.
most important part of the outfit. The shoes are the most important part. He said the outfit could be worth $2, but the shoes got to be worth at least $150 easy. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, got to be matching, man. Please try. But every once in a while, I'll cut across the path. I remember I went to an event. I had a tux on. You know what I had on my feet? Black Convert All-Stars.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure did. It was working too, man.
How was it working, man?
I'm telling
you. It might have been
you just
comfortable.
have to, no. There was everybody was like, I ain't never thought about that. You should see my wife. You should see my wife. But she buys these shoes with these glitter or something, I don't know. But she have a dress on and the dress is tight. But she likes tennis shoes. But they be sharp. They don't be tacky. I'm just saying.
Badger say
you might like it.
Badger say we spend thousands of dollars on shoes when folks need a roof and food.
Exactly.
Let me
No. I said why? Why spend thousands on shoes when folks need a roof and food?
Hey, I guess some people will say that's selfish, huh? Other people will say, well, I work hard for my money and I want to reward myself.
Hard for my money.
Yeah,
Sure
and I want to reward myself. And so, you know, it is what it is. There's so many different alleys you can go down that lane right there. But Willa, what do you say to that, Willa? Willa, you sharp now. God almighty, Willa, you don't put that outfit together. Now, what you gonna do with them shoes?
Wear something comfortable. I ain't trying to impress nobody. I'm trying to be comfortable. I'm like Badger. Make sure the color match. I'm talking about at this age. Now, when I was younger, I used to try to dress to impress because I was trying to catch. But
trying to catch what? Trying to catch a cone? What you trying to catch a cone? What you trying to catch? Hello.
I was trying to catch. But now I'm trying to be comfortable.
Cassandra.
I know that's right.
Cassandra.
I know that's right.
Lord, wait a minute. She said she was trying to catch. Cassandra, what was she trying to catch? A cold?
What I'm trying to catch right now.
You know.
That's it. Yeah.
Rico, help me out, brother. Help me out, Rico. Help me out, brother.
I'm 63. I'm trying to catch. I'm just telling you right now.
What are you trying to catch?
You're young too, girl.
And look at Miss Hicks up through his. You're young too, girl.
You know, I get where Badger coming from, though, man. If y'all really think about what he was saying just then, and you think about what Willa just said, that was very key. Dressing to impress.
Yeah.
You want to make yourself presentable. Now, the thing he's making about it is the people that go overboard, focusing too much on trying to impress by material means of aesthetics over taking care of the necessary things. So I get where he's coming from, you know, when he said that about why, because if you think about it, people are so big on impressing others that I see quite a few people selling clothes out of their closet they never wore before.
Yeah.
Never worn. People credit cards are shot through the limit, just gone out the roof, man. I mean, because they can't stop shopping, because they always see something that they like that they might want to wear to impress somebody one day, but they never get it out. Now they too big to wear it. I bought this 6 years ago and forgot all about it. But when they saw it, they had to have it. So I get what he's saying about being distracted. You know what I'm saying? Because even you said that, you know, well, I got to reward myself.
Yeah.
So
And that's what I was about to say.
you know,
And that's what I was about to say. A lot of times people say when they work and they get paid once a week, twice a week or something like that, or whatever it is, when they get paid, they say, well, I have to pay let me pay me first. Before I pay any of these bills, I'm gonna pay me first. I'm gonna pay me first. I worked them 80 hours or whatever it is. I'm gonna pay me first. So how do y'all feel? And we got to get ready to get out of here. But I got to get to the mall to Georgia. But how do y'all feel about the concept of pay me first, pay myself first? How do y'all feel about that? Anybody could jump in.
Depends on how you paying yourself.
No.
Yeah.
Depends on how you paying yourself.
But you
pay them bills first.
Priorities and necessities, you know what I'm saying? Priorities always have to come before, you know what I'm saying, recreation and luxuries, you know what I'm saying?
So are we working for ourselves, or are we working to pay the bills?
Working to pay the bills.
Which is for us.
If you paying the bills, you are paying yourself.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
But, you know, I mean, what you supposed to live for free? You're not in no room no more.
Priority.
So when you're paying your rent for a roof over your head, when you're paying your cell phone bill, your car note, your insurance, those are the things that you chose to get for you. So you are always paying yourself. You need to focus on other things, other ways to make more money, because you're going to run through a paycheck. So now you need to do things like invest in yourself. Invest in something to better yourself. But whenever you decide to do or buy something, this is the capitalist society we live in. We don't barter. We purchase the things that we want. You're always paying yourself.
Wow, that's good. That's good, man. We got to get out of here, man. We are already 11 minutes over already, man. I got to get over to the mall of Georgia so we can have a better broadcast tomorrow. It worked today, though. We had 60%, but 60% was enough today. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to hear us see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Willow!
Come on, Raheem. Let's go.
I Willow!
Let's go, Raheem.
So
come on, let's go. Let's go.
What Willow? I ain't gonna say nothing else. Let's go.
Let's go, Raheem. Let's go before the throne this morning. First, I just want to ask God, and I just want to thank God for forgiving me for all those things that I had done that was mispleasing to Him in His eyesight. Lord, I just thank you for making me a changed person, Lord. Father, thank you for making all of us change in one way or another. Father, we just thank you for allowing us to get up each and every day to get it right with you, oh Lord. Father, I thank you. I thank you for keeping me, oh Lord, for using me, oh Lord, for allowing the Holy Spirit to dwell in this vessel, to receive your message and not mine. Father, we know that it's not nothing that we do, but it's the power that you bestow on each and every last one of us, manifested in our lives, Lord, growing in your spirit, using your words and your promises, Lord. Father, I thank you so much, Lord. But Father, I'm asking you, oh Lord, there's someone that needs you, oh Lord. They're going through, Lord. Father, I'm asking you to touch their lives, oh Lord. Touch it from the head to their toe, oh Lord. Father, let them know that they still have hope, Lord. You said it in your word that by your stripes that we're healed. And Father, we're trusting and believing in your word, Lord. Father, I thank you for it. I thank you each and every day for being the Father that you are. Father, I love you. I honor you. I praise you. I glorify you. I worship you in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Willa, man, you know, the powerful prayer, sister. But I need to ask you one question, though, Willa. I need to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Which toe is that, Willa? You say from the top of the head to the toe. When you talking about the big toe, the pinky toe, the middle toe, what toe you talking about there, Willa?
All of them.
All of them. There you go.
All of them. All of it.
every
Watch
tone,
it
every
in a
tone they got.
mighty way.
There you go. There you
That
go.
man right here, yeah, I don't know why, man. You remember the dude that used to come on, the Bishop invited on, man? The camera dropped down and he had his foot on the screen. That's the first thing popped in my head when you said wet toe, man. I pictured old Buddy's foot sitting up on the screen, man. The whole time he was talking, that foot was showing, man. I was like, man.
Well, we don't have some folks come through here, Rico. We don't have some folks come through, man.
Man.
Yes, Lord. But listen, man, it's been a great broadcast, man. Anybody got anything before we get out of here? Okay, everything is quiet, so I think everybody's good. Everybody's good. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:22. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light in you for the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. And please, please, please be blessed. Love you. See you tomorrow. God say the same.